my God, everybody, we're back. Finally, the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast is back. And I am Dr. Fuck. And with me is...
Oh, yeah!
That was
Godzilla, baby.
That was a beautiful, beautiful beer crack.
Nice.
That shit sounded 3D.
That's like 3B, 3 beers.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty cool, eh?
How you doing, Ian?
I'm doing good. I started drinking early, so I am primed and ready for our return. And we're gonna do a 3-day stretch here, or at least we're gonna attempt it if everything goes well. We're recording today, which is Saturday night. We're gonna try to do a late live stream tomorrow, and then we're gonna record another episode on Monday. So yeah.
Hell yeah. So basically this show will be up by tomorrow. So people are going to be getting 2 videos tomorrow.
Yeah. This one and a live stream. So
yeah,
fucking A right. So yeah, and don't get it twisted. Don't shit the deck.
No. Don't get it twisted. Let's cut the deck.
All right, don't get it twisted or I'll shit on your deck. So we're gonna do this one. It's gonna be up on Sunday, and then your motherfuckers got to come back Sunday night for the live stream. And is that Ruben De La Rosa?
No, he's mad at me at the moment.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. He got me mistaken. I told somebody else online, and he took it that I said it to him, which is ridiculous. And I said to him on a text, I said, dude, that wasn't even meant for you. Had nothing to do with you. He didn't reply, and I didn't reply. I'm like, you know what it is, man? I am done defending myself. I defend myself way too much. And, ever since I stopped talking to that chick, remember the pill chick I told you about?
Yeah, the pill chick.
Yeah, she was nothing but drama, too. And always accusing me of shit that I didn't do. So after her, I was like, you know what? I'm not defending myself anymore. I will say it once. Yo, I didn't do it. Or yo, in Ruben's case, had nothing to do with you. I said that to him. He didn't reply. And I'm not replying because the fact of the matter is it wasn't directed at him. And he got pissed at me. And there you go. Whatever, man. I explained myself. If he chooses to believe the lie, that's his deal. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm going to do now, Ian? I'm going to break.
What you going to do?
I'm going to break a cardinal rule. I'm going to do something like heavy duty. All right? Check it out, everybody. Monday, Ian and I are going to review the first Black Sabbath album. Now, the reason I just brought that up is because there's this other podcast that nobody listens to that they say stuff like, hey, let's not give away what we're recording this weekend. Like, let's keep it a surprise for nobody that listens. So I'm like, hey, we have a lot of people listening to us. And guess what? We're going to be reviewing Black Sabbath's first album on Monday.
So there you go.
And
spoiler alert, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And also, I like to bring up that Mark Alden, Tough Guy Taylor, said that I can beat Ralph up. He's weak. Now, look, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to kick anybody's ass. But I will say this to what Mark said. I'll say this. I can beat the living shit out of a crippled Girl Scout. A Girl Scout that's in a wheelchair that can't move, I can beat her ass. And that same Girl Scout, I can beat that crippled Girl Scout's ass. That Girl Scout can beat Mark Alden Taylor's ass. That's all I'll say about that.
Well, all I'm going to say is if you weren't so mean to him in Nashville, this shit never would have happened.
Yeah. I was mean to him. But, Ian does it with a wink. Hey, did you ever go on a stupid show yet?
No, I'm going to though. I'm going to. I need to make time. But my thing is, if I don't have time for this show, I sure as fuck don't have time for that show. And just a little, let everybody know. God, I can't even remember the last fucking episode we've done. But recently, there's been a death in my family that I had to deal with, and I've started a new job, which is amazing. Like the best job I ever had. And but I'm working crazy hours now. I'm doing like 4 10s, a little bit of overtime here and there. But I get up at like 3:15 in the morning. So so the show has suffered, but I'm working through everything and trying to make the schedule and shit. So the show keeps on going, and that's why we're pumping it out over this fucking weekend and shit. And we should be doing good going forward. But yeah, and plus where I'm at work, I can't do a lot of phone shit, so I haven't been very active on Facebook and shit like that. But look for me on weekends. Is probably the best I can tell you guys. But shit's going on, but we're gonna make the show still happen and everything. Everything's great. I got a couple messages. I need to get back to people, but there's nothing wrong with the show. Nothing wrong with Ralph and I.
Well,
it's just scheduling shit.
Well, I will say this. I will quit the show if you go on Facebook.
Oh, come on. Come on. You got to let me go on there and bash Sammy.
No. I'll quit the show. I'm kidding. But no, I want you to go on. It's not like anybody's going to hear you anyway.
Oh yeah. No, plus I'm going to plug the show. What the show for?
what thread is happening to me with Freeform? The show's been around for 8 years and still gets no listeners.
Yeah, I'm going to plug the show so the two people that listen will still listen to our show. Just to let them know we're back in business.
I just want to let you know, Terrence gets more numbers than Freeform.
That is true. Well,
that is sad.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
Little sad news there. I guess we're going to lead into it, but Terrence was killed.
No. Stop right there, Ian. Because I got to edit that part out. This idiot.
Well, I'm just saying Israel bombed Hamas and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So no. I'm still going to go on Mark's show, and it's going to be great. It's going to be legendary. It's going to bump their listenership up to 4.
Yeah, I'll be one of them. I'll listen. You better bash. You better bash that asshole.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's going to bump it up to 4 because Chuck Charles is going to listen twice. And you'll listen. And then his mother. So that's 4. So yeah, I am going to do that. But of course, this show takes priority. But
Mark Daly today put up a screenshot in this group going, look at Mark's numbers. You're slaughtering him on Thursdays because he does his show on Thursdays. Yeah. And Mark at one point was blaming me. Oh, he's putting his show up on Thursday to fuck with me. It's like, first of all, my show goes on before your show. So by the time my show's over, your show's up. So how am I doing anything? I'm doing absolutely nothing. You suck on your own. It doesn't have nothing to do with me. The reason people don't listen to you is because you suck. It has nothing to do with my show.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with Ralph. It's all COVID. COVID is the reason your numbers are down, Mark.
Yeah, what a loving Christian. I can beat Ralph up. He's weak. Hypocrite.
Yeah, I think that's in Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
So no iTunes or nothing reviews because we ain't done shit, so ain't nobody said shit. Fuck, man, we got a lot of shit in the news this week.
All right.
I guess hold on before we get in the news. Very excited. In 2 weeks, not only do I get a break from work because I have jury duty, but I'm going to see Blue Oyster Cult, and I recently purchased tickets for my son and I to go see Iron Maiden on the Somewhere in Time retro tour, whatever. And I had my wife buy the tickets because I was at work, and I set her the wrong like section that I wanted tickets in. I'm still on the floor, but I'm all the way in the back, and now I'm like perplexed. Do I like try to resell those and get up closer? But now I don't know what I would pay for those. I don't know what I would pay for them. I already paid like over $100 to be on the back of the floor. Um, I don't know what I'd pay because I heard they're going to change the set list, and depending on what it is. I mean, if they play, Loneliness, the Long Distance Runner, I might move up a little bit, but I don't know. But
fuck Iron Man. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, fuck him in the butthole.
Glorious Cult. Now that's a good show. My girlfriend just saw him the other day.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. Did Smithereens guy take her? You didn't go?
That's my woman.
Well, why didn't you go? Why didn't you go to Blue Oyster Cult?
Because she lives far, bro.
Oh, okay.
So we're going, me and her are going to Cheap Trick in January.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Have you seen any shows? I've seen a bunch of cool shows have been in your area. What have you gone to recently?
Let me think. Have I gone to anything? I mean, I saw my friend's local band. They were cool. But no, I don't think I've seen anything.
No, okay.
Nope. I got what shows do I got coming up? I got Cheap Trick. There's a cover band playing, all Whitesnake, and it's Neil Turbin on vocals.
Who?
Neil Turbin.
Oh, from Anthrax?
Yeah.
Singing Whitesnake?
Whitesnake and Deep Purple. No, it's Deep Purple and Rainbow. It's called Rainbow Purple or Purple Rainbow or some shit like that.
And Neil Turbin singing.
Yeah, Neil Turbin singing. It's a super group. They got the dude.
Don't sound too super.
The dude from Yngwie is going to be on drums, and
who plays for Yngwie now? Now that he lost his good drummer.
I saw the new drummer for Yngwie. He was good. Well, maybe that's the show I didn't talk about. I saw Yngwie Malmsteen not too long ago.
Again? Jesus Christ, you've seen that guy a lot.
Maybe I did talk about it. Yeah, I saw it a couple months back.
Oh, but without the incredible Brian on drums.
With Glenn Hughes.
Oh, yeah. You talked about that.
Well, Glenn Hughes is coming back. I'm going to go see that. Yeah. Oh, there was something. Oh, Pantera's coming. Yeah, I'm going to go see Pantera.
That's nice.
And what else? I know there's a couple other things that I'm like, oh my God, I got to go see this. Now I can't remember now. But I got some shows coming up.
Right on. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I started drinking hours ago, so I broke the seal. I got to go take a piss. Just talk to these good people here. Tell them some fun stories about Freeform Podcast.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug the Freeform podcast.
Plug that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug it. All right. If you want to hear an idiot, the worst podcaster ever. I mean, just check it out. This is a guy that he laughs at stuff that's not even funny. He says these things and then he laughs after it, and it's not even funny. It's hard to get through it. And on top of that, he plays songs. Like in the middle of talking on their podcast. People want to hear people talking on podcast. They don't want to hear music. I'll give you an example. Like somebody will type in on Google, I want to hear Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction podcast. I don't know if he's ever recorded that episode, but let's just say he did an episode like that. There'll be somebody online looking, oh, look, I found a podcast talking about Guns N' Roses. Appetite for Destruction. Let me listen. So he clicks play, and all he hears is some idiot laughing at stuff that he says that's not funny. Then they go with the songs. And he's been doing this shit for like 9 years. And still no listeners because he sucks. And Terrence gets better numbers.
Oh, yeah. Good old Terrence. He got the talent. I got to plug an episode I did that recently came up. It's on the Payform podcast with Edwin Canistracci and Eric RMCP. It's Payform because it's so good you pay for it. It's not like Freeform. But I went on their show.
Let me tell you something. First of all, their show's doing great. They haven't been around that long, and they're blowing Freeform away. They're doing.
Oh yeah.
I saw their numbers. They do way better numbers than Mark, and they're new.
Yeah, go check it out. I did a Motown episode, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Had a good time. Edwin and Eric, man, good dudes. Good dudes.
They're good guys, and they're good podcasters. Unlike Mark, who sucks at podcasting.
All right. Well, fuck it, man. We got a lot of news to get into. Been a lot of shit going on. It's been a long time since we did an episode, but we might as well talk about the shit that's all over the news, and that's what happened in St. Louis.
What happened?
I guess you haven't had the TV on recently. So there was a huge pedophile ring in St. Louis that was busted, and it was a bunch of Sammy Hagar fans. St. Louis is kind of like their hub, and there was a pizza parlor that they were running like a child molestation ring out of, and man, a lot of arrests, because there's a lot of Sammy Hagar fans, and I think they caught 12 of the 20 really bad, and there's two different types, not only of Sammy Hagar fans, but of pedophiles. There's the type that says, oh, I like Sammy, but not in Van Halen. That's like your Bushy. Okay. Those are the type of pedophiles that like to have female children fuck them in the ass with a dildo.
Wait, are you saying Bushy's one of them?
Yeah. Oh. So yeah, if they're like, I like Sammy, but not in Van Halen, they like an underage female child to fuck them in the ass with a dildo. And then you got the type that are just full-blown Sammy. They love fucking Montrose and Stand in Hampton and fucking OU812. They like little boys to fuck them in the ass. And it's sad because they force these children to do this, of course. But they busted this ring. It was at a Shakey's Pizza in St. Louis that this happened, and it's just it's really fucked up. Unfortunately, Sammy wasn't there at the time of the arrest, so authorities are still looking. But it just backs up what I've been saying for years. All Sammy Hagar fans are pedophiles. All of them. Every single one. And they're the sickest type of pedophile. They're the ones that like to be fucked by children.
And worse than that, like Sammy Hagar.
Yeah. That's, if you get down to brass tacks, the only thing worse than having children rape you is listening to Sammy Hagar. So, I'm glad they were apprehended.
Sammy Hagar fans use the word rock to describe fucking a little boy up the ass.
Yeah.
That's how that song. There's only one way to fuck a little boy up the ass.
Yeah.
That's what that song means.
And that's funny because anytime I hear Sammy Hagar, I want to hit myself in the ear with a rock hard.
Yeah.
I got to say, though, luckily for Bushy, he was not there at the time of the arrest. He's one of the 4 of the 20 Sammy Hagar fans that got away. So hey, good on you. You didn't get caught, but it's a matter of time.
You sick fuck. What's wrong with you,
Bushy?
You fucking
Bushy
is
sick.
No, wrong with you.
I mean, we should have known when he was throwing up in our hotel room after like fucking 3 Zimas. We should have known that.
Yeah,
there's something wrong here.
It was 13-year-old cum in his stomach that made him throw up.
Yeah, and the giveaway was when Lee Gertzman offered to fuck him in the ass, and he's like, "Yeah, you're a little too old for me, buddy." That's when we should have known.
Oh man!
But other than that, let's get this fucking shit out of the way.
Well, let's stay on the subject. Have you seen that footage with Joe Satriani and Sammy?
Oh my God!
What a train wreck! I never liked Joe Satriani. I've seen so many of these G3 shows, and I stick around and watch them. At the end of the show, all the other guitar players come out and own them. But my God, he was doing Mean Street, and even that Summer Night, he fucked that up.
Yeah. You got to get. I like a couple of Sag songs, but he's more known as a guitar teacher. He's taught like a lot of better guitar players like Skolnick and Vi. But
Hammett's better than him too, I think.
Yeah, but it's like Woody Allen famously said, those who can't do teach, and those who can't teach gym, and that's what Satriani is. He's a gym teacher. Yeah, that shit was horrible. But more importantly, let's talk about these Hagar vocals. And be realistic. I watched like snippets of like 3 or 4 songs. First, shame on Howard Stern for even having him on. But I know he likes to play both sides with the Sam and Dave. He'll turn around the next week and have Dave on, But it was horrible, and a lot of us that love Dave, you get all these people online like, oh, how can you defend? He sounds so shitty. And, I think both of us will be the first to say that, yeah, some nights Dave sounds like crap. Some nights he sounds okay. But all these people are like, oh, Sammy still got it. That shit was fucking horrible.
Sammy never had it. He never had it.
Oh, I'll tell you this. On the list of fucking things that are wrong with Sammy Hagar, his voice would be 10th on my list. I think you hate his voice even more than me.
I do.
There's a lot of other things I hate more about his voice. For the most part, I would say, while I'm not a fan, I don't think he's a horrible singer. It's like everything else about him. I don't like his voice, but there's a million other things that are, his stage presence, his lyrics, his fucking, I get a lot of things that are wrong with him. But he sounded like fucking shit on these videos. I mean, croaking it. And I saw all this shit online. Like people like, wow, Sammy Hagar's 97 years old and still sounds fucking great. Like, did you fucking listen? So anybody that gives me shit about fucking saying, Dave still sounds good, you listen to that shit and tell me Sammy Hagar sounds good? And what a desperate, sad move this is on his part. Because nobody gives a shit about Chicken Foot, The Circle, the fucking Oomba Doombas, or whatever the fuck, his bands are and shit like that. The only thing he has left to do is go out and play Van Halen, and which sucks even worse because he's not playing Van Halen, he's playing Van Hagar. So if you go, it's going to be like the worst fucking Van Hagar songs you've ever heard. And then like maybe, 4 or 5 actual Van Halen songs that Michael Anthony's going to fucking butcher?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. And it's basically Chicken Foot with fucking Jason Bonham on drums. And like, Jason Bonham's dead to me. I used to pull for this guy. I felt bad for him. His dad died, wish, Led Zeppelin would have done something with him. I even liked that fucking horrible Bonham band he had, But now it's like, eat a dick. Even Chad Smith's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Who's going to go see this shit? I'm surprised, though, at the venues they have booked, and I would love to see the attendance on this shit,
They're
and more
opening
than
down here.
What's that?
They're opening down here.
They're opening? Oh, the first show of the tour?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully fucking Hamas does something to that fucking shit.
Yeah, I won't.
Oh my God. Oh, that's fucking terrible. Seriously, that blow up the fucking venue. Blow up the fucking venue. And more so than the band, I hope the fans get killed. Because this is something we'll never agree on. I hate fans. You hate bands. Sammy Hagar is trying to do the most with what God gave him, which is jack and shit. But it's the people who support him that I want not to fucking have more kids or breathe my fucking air. Sammy Hagar fans, they're all pedophiles. They're all fucking pedophiles. And the worst kind of pedophile, the kind that like to be fucked by children.
I don't see you winking, Ian. I think you're being honest.
No, yeah, no, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Fuck these. It's funny at my new job. It's a new era. They do shit differently. We have like these team building exercises, and they ask like questions of the day and shit like that. It's very modern. So the question of the day is, if you had a superpower, what would it be and what would you do? And, in front of they don't know me from jack shit, They just think I'm the sexy new guy at work. I said, my superpower would be time travel. And I said, what I would do is kill Sammy Hagar before he had a chance to ruin Van Halen. I let it be known. Fuck Hagar. Fuck his pedophile listeners. Each and every one of you deserve death. Deserve fucking, and like, not like a good death. Not like in your sleep. You deserve to be fucking wide awake, done on TV in front of your family so they can suffer for the horrible way they raised you. That made you listen to that shit. So fuck you, before you let other children fuck you in the ass. You fucking pedophile fucks.
He's talking to you. He's talking to you, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You getting fucked with a corn dog sideways, motherfucker.
And he ain't winking. Ian hates you way more than I can ever hate you.
Oh God.
Ian wants you dead. He hopes you die. You piece of shit.
Yeah, not in a good way.
He doesn't even want you to die in a good way. He wants you to be tortured and killed for being a Sammy Hagar fan / pedophile.
Yeah.
According to Ian, he's the one saying you're a pedophile, not me. He's saying.
Yeah.
And that's why he hates you and he wants you to die in a very painful way, Mark.
You heard me.
And watch him still have you on his show. That's how desperate he is.
That'd be good numbers.
Yeah.
It'll be 5.
It'll be 5 instead of 0.
Okay. Well, what else is in the news, you ask? Mr. Big says it has 10 to 13 songs written for a new studio album.
They're coming down here, and they build it as the farewell tour. I was like, I'm not going to that. But they build it as a farewell tour. So now they're making music.
Yeah, I don't get that shit.
I'll keep talking. I'll be right back.
Mr. Big sucks.
Yeah.
Mr. Big sucks. That's horrible shit. Written for 12-year-old girls and Courtney Cronin Doyle, who I love. But yeah, Mr. Big sucks. I think Mark likes them too. And we're going to talk about that. They're a shitty fucking band. I guess I don't mind Addicted to That Rush or whatever the fuck. That's the only song I ever heard from them I kind of halfway liked. Everything else sucked cock, like big veiny fucking cock, and not in a good way, like in a bad way with a lot of teeth. Uh, Mr. Big, Mr. Big, that shit fucking Mr. Big. I mean, really? That's your fucking name, Mr. Big.
Yeah, that's another crappy band Mark Alvin Taylor likes.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
Of course it sucks.
All right. Well, here's something I'm kind of surprised about, but not really. Gary Holt says he's not involved with Kerry King's new band, saying I'm too busy, which Kerry King's band is making their appearance in Daytona. At, I forget what it is, like Daytona Fest or whatever the fuck. They do it in Daytona every year. But Kerry King's new band is like headlining the fourth stage on a Thursday. Um, I was very excited. I guess I still am in a way. I mean, I love Kerry King. I love Slayer. Paul Bostoff has been announced as a drummer. Love Bostoff. Seen him a gazillion times. Great drummer. But originally, when this shit was leaked, it was kind of hinted at that like Phil Anselmo was going to be the singer and Gary Holt was going to be the other guitar player. And I'm like, well, fuck that. That's a lineup and a fucking half. I can only imagine how good that would be. But you got to think with all the shit that Pantera is doing now, and they just announced 2014 tour dates, and Gary Holt's working on a new Slayer album.
Exodus album.
Yeah, Exodus album. I don't know who's going to fill out the band. And that kind of like I can see something with Phil working really good, but Phil's got Pantera, which is definitely paying the fucking bills, and you got to think even over Kerry King shit, a new Down record would make even more money than probably a potential Kerry King solo album. So I don't know who's going to be the voice or the lead guitar in this, but I just hope it's good. That's all I want. I mean, I love Kerry King. I love Slayer. I know Kerry's pissed because he didn't want Slayer to retire. That's all has to do with Tom. And I get it, and I respect, Kerry's, no Slayer, he's not trying to get Sammy Hagar to sing fucking Rain and Blood. So, there's that. But be interested to see who it is. And I hope it's good. But Kerry, I mean, I guess he has to move on. I mean, Kerry's getting up there now, and he probably doesn't have time to, for Phil to wait on Phil Anselmo, who's, busy with Pantera. Then there'll probably be a Down, and it would just keep pushing back and shit. So we'll see what happens. Are you excited about a new Kerry King project, Ralph?
Well, I'm very excited because I got inside scoop who's going to be singing for them, and I was like, oh, this is going to rule.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if I should announce it here. Should I? Yeah.
Well, can you tell me and bleep it out, or do you want to tell me afterwards?
No, sorry. Fuck it. The world exclusive. We're going to be all over Bottomouth for this.
Okay.
Right? Everybody out there, the brand new singer for Kerry King's band is Lee Gersman.
Ooh. Rain and Cheese. I'm looking forward to it.
That's right.
Looking forward to it.
Bugs await.
Okay, well, you know what I'm looking forward to even more than that is Phil Rudd returning to AC/DC. And he says he's looking forward to playing with them again in the future. And I would be happy if that's the case. He's saying there might be a possibility of AC/DC touring next year. Which I would be all for and I would go to, even though I gotta say I was very disappointed in the footage that I saw from the Power Trip Festival. I thought everybody sounded a little tired on that one. But then again, I mean, it's the first show in how many years? You know what I mean? It's not like they'd been playing together and there was a rhythm going. I could kind of, I can give them some leeway for that shit being a little off. You said you liked what you saw from the Power Trip Festival, huh?
Well, when I told you that, I only saw one song.
Okay.
I saw stuff later on, and Brian sounded so rough. I mean,
Yeah.
really bad. He was the only person I saw that was a problem. I didn't think they all looked tired. I thought he just sounded horrible, but it's understandable, man. I mean, you know, I played a club in Puerto Rico called Hell's Bells. And I told the band before we played it, let's play Hell's Bells tonight in this club. And we did. And after I did that song, I lost my voice. And that's only singing it once. Brian Johnson been doing it for over 40 years. So it's amazing he still has a voice, singing shit like, Back in Black, and all that shit's really strenuous. Look at Axl Rose. Axl Rose nailed it, but you know what? He fucked up his voice. Listen to Axl now. He can't pull AC/DC off now. His voice.
You listen to Axl Rose now, not me.
Well, trust me, he can't do what he did with AC/DC back then. His voice is something.
Well, another thing I think you got to take into context too is how long it's been since Brian has sang on a regular basis. And the vocals are like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. For a lot of singers, if you're not singing regularly, you're not going to be up to par. But I didn't think the problem was just Brian with the videos that I saw. I thought the guitars sounded sluggish as well. And I don't know if that was just Malcolm and his, cousin or whatever, not gelling or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're judging from a cell phone.
Yeah, true.
You can tell a voice being shot on a cell phone, really. But, the sound of guitars can be misleading off a cell phone.
True. I mean, I hope they do tour. I'll go fucking see it.
Oh, of course.
I've only seen AC/DC twice. God damn it.
I definitely go see it. I never missed an AC/DC show since For Those About to Rock.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Dolly Parton said of Rob Halford, I just loved him.
Fuck Dolly Parton. There, I said it. Fuck her. I heard that stupid album. It's fucking horrendous.
Oh, yeah?
It's so bad.
I haven't heard. What did she sing with Rob Halford? Do you know?
Oh my God, I don't remember, but I remember hearing it. And it's even worse than that. The Rob Halford song he did with Doro.
Ooh. I loved it.
What? Are you?
I loved it.
Oh my God, you are homo.
Turn around. Well, first of all, I love that fucking song.
I hate that. Well, yeah, there you go. Because I hate that.
Yeah, I love it. But I was fully I was in hater mode, getting ready to watch it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. I dug it. I thought it sounded good, but I do like the song.
Yeah, it's a gay song.
But with the Dolly Parton thing, I don't. There's part of me that really hopes that she fucked him or tried to fuck him. And maybe he did a weird, I'll try a girl. Because Dolly Parton, she's got around. She fucked Richard Pryor. I mean, if she could fuck Richard Pryor and Rob Halford, that's a list, That's all over the place.
Fuck her, and may I go further and say fuck Johnny Cash. That's right, I said it. Fuck him too. And fuck Frank Sinatra. Piece of shit. Fuck the Rat Pack, except for Sammy Davis Jr., because he did the theme to Beretta, and that song rules. The only good Rat Packer was Sammy Davis Jr.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't do it.
Wow. Fucking badass.
Fucking Beretta. Man, I wish fucking Robert Blake was still around and could kill another wife. He's fucking Beretta, goddammit.
Man, that guy died and nobody knew anything. I heard about it way after the fact. I was like, he died? Yeah, he died weeks ago. I didn't know. Yeah.
Fucking Robert Blake kicks ass. He was one of the fucking Little Rascals for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he was. He was Mickey, I think his name was.
Yeah. Mickey the wife killer. Yeah. Fucking love Robert Blake. All right.
Beretta was an awesome show. But
It was.
But then again, Beretta was from the 70s.
Yeah.
The only shit in the 70s was Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie. That's it. That's the only shit that happened in the 70s that sucked. Everything else ruled.
Yeah. See, and Robert Blake was so awesome in the 70s when he was Beretta. And then, do you remember Helltown in the 80s?
No.
Lasted for one season where it was Robert Blake playing like a fucking priest that solved crimes in a bad part of town. Yeah. Lasted one season on NBC. God. Yeah. Robert Blake. Kill your wife. Who gives a fuck?
Hey, at least he wasn't a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. He hated Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
Almost as much as his wife.
And no, his wife loves Sammy Hagar. That's why she's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's why he never got prosecuted.
Yeah, exactly. Let him go.
Geddy Lee admits initially he had some resentment and unresolved feelings about Rush's premature end. And that's something that's come to light lately, where Geddy's kind of said that he's kind of open to maybe something with Rush, or recording with Alex Lifeson. I don't know if it would be, called Rush or a tribute to Rush, but it's a hard situation. I think Geddy's the most available to do something and probably the most ready. Alex suffers a lot from arthritis, so I don't know if he could handle.
Alex got major stomach problems now too.
Oh, stomach problems too? Shit.
Yeah, he's all fucked up. So
yeah. Okay. Well, let me put this to you. Okay, say they want to do something. Who do you get for Neil Peart? Who do you get to drum?
Rocky Rocket.
There's two people that I would like to see, and I know one's gonna get a lot of cringe, like, oh, that's kind of fucking obvious. I do think Portnoy could do an awesome job. But another one that I would like that I know Neil was a huge fan of, but I don't know if he could do Neil Peart right, is Stuart Copeland.
No. No. And Stuart Copeland is up there. Is one of my favorite drummers with Neil. But the style is a little too
right.
Not as ferocious as Neil, let's put it this way.
He's right. He's more of a finesse drummer, but I know that Neil was a huge fan of Stewart's. But those are two off the top of my head. And I know a lot of people have, feelings on Portnoy, and he's just rejoined Dream Theater, which we haven't talked about yet. But, there's not a lot of drummers out there who I think could do justice, but I think Portnoy could and would. I think he has the love and the admiration. Where I think he could probably even do like a more faithful than Stewart. I think Stewart's kind of. It's hard for Stewart not to sound like Stewart. Portnoy. What's that?
It ain't gonna happen. Not with Stuart Copeland. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. But what do you think about Portnoy coming back to Dream Theater?
Well, yeah, that's good. Good thing. Let's see what they release music wise, because Dream Theater for me is pretty much a pass. They've been down here many times, and I don't go. I went to go see them early on when they played the Button South. The Awake tour. I saw Images and Words. I saw Scenes of a Memory, and then I saw I think it was the last one they did with Portnoy. Whatever.
On the Maiden tour.
No, they headlined. It was with Opeth.
Oh, you saw a headline show? Okay.
Yeah, they played with Opeth here, and no, they were all great shows. But there was one show I saw them with Megadeth. It was Gigantor. Boy, they sucked that day. It was so
really.
The set list was like heavily on the boring side. So I don't know. I'll see if they release an album. I'll listen to it. If I like it, I'll go see it. If I don't like it, I won't go see it. I've seen Dream Theater enough.
Yeah, I only saw them once, and that's when they opened up for Maiden on the Final Frontier tour. That was the last tour they did with Portnoy, um, and I was a fan of that album, that Black Linings and Silver Clouds or whatever. I mean, shit. One of my favorite Dream Theater songs is "Nightmare to Remember." It's a perfect fucking song. But to me, if you really want to do justice, get rid of Jordan Ruin This. Get Derek Sherinian back in the band and then call me. But I pretty much liked the Dream Theater albums they did without Portnoy, except for The Astonishing. That shit was fucking dreadful. Holy shit, was that bad?
I don't
You
like.
know, but the other ones I didn't mind. You know, especially I liked the self-titled one a lot. They had that one Rush ripoff song I really liked. I can't remember the fucking name of it now, but good song. Um, but then in other Dream Theater news, Charlie DeMonico or whatever Demichi, whatever the fuck his name is, he's dead. Did you see that?
Yeah, the original singer.
Yeah. Did you ever listen to that album? The first one?
Yeah, I didn't like it too much.
Yeah.
I wasn't into it. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah. It's one of those I got. I might have listened to one song, and I don't even remember. But they said it was a pretty bad, mishmash. He was more of like a Toto, like Kansas type of guy.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad singer, but
Yeah, but it didn't mix with the style that they were playing.
yeah,
But then again, when it comes to Dream Theater, besides Jordan Ruin This, uh, I think the other weak link is Labrie, the singer.
yeah,
I think Dream Theater, man, if they had another singer, and I know, when they were on the outs after he left, Portnoy made a couple comments about he wished Dream Theater had a different singer. And I think if they had one with a little bit more balls, that's my only thing with Labrie. I think he's a capable singer, but I just like a little bit more balls, you know, and a keyboard player that doesn't sound like, a fucking, chimp's gonna come out and fucking play the cymbals. I don't know. Jordan Ruin This is all fucking circus music crap to me.
fuck Dream Theater.
Yeah, fuck them too. All right, what else? Who else do we fucking hate? What's coming up here? Oh God, Buck Cherry's putting out a Christmas song. Fuck them in the ass. Fucking hate Buck Cherry.
Yeah, I saw them once live. I got
yeah.
I got a free ticket to see Crew Fest, and they were on it. It was Buck Cherry, Papa Roach, 6 a.m. Let me tell you, man, as much as Buck Cherry sucked, and as much as 6 a.m. sucked and Papa Roach sucked, Motley Crue that night, I think was even worse.
Wow.
I think that was like the most piss poor Motley Crue performance I've ever seen.
Was that when Samantha Mahoney was drumming and shit?
Oh, Tommy Lee was in the band.
Oh, yeah. Sounds about right.
Mm.
Well, hey, we got to give a shout out to Tim Bream / Simkin Stanley. He's gotten all over the place lately. He's got the new podcast with the one and only Bill Wang, the Wang Simkin Stanley show. But Tim's been talking. He talked to Chuck Billy. He talked to Zetro from Exodus. And man, these things are getting on Blabbermouth and everything. So man, fucking, awesome. I'm happy. I love Tim. I love Wang. Very happy for him. And this Sinkin Stanley thing, it's gained some traction. I don't get it. I'll fully admit. I the whole Sinkin Stanley thing, I'm kind of like, God damn it, I love you, Tim. But I love Wang. Wang's always Wang, and he hang. But people love it, and I couldn't be happier, man. Tim is such a fucking great dude, and if you want his address and phone number, just ask Paul Stanley, and he'll give it to you to out him. but happy for those guys and happy for Tim, man. That's awesome, man. I don't know what he's doing to get these interviews, man, but killer.
No, man, it's Cameo. You have to pay them.
Well, oh, okay.
You
Well,
pay them.
still,
He pays them and he asks them, all right, I want you to talk about this question here. So that's why he gets them. He pays them.
well, still, that's awesome. Good for Tim Breeden and Wang. Check it out, Wang and Sinkin Stanley Show podcast.
Yeah, you
on the YouTube.
You plug it.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Bruce Dickinson's got a new solo album coming out, and I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I don't know if there's a leak of a single. I saw he's put out some videos. I haven't got caught up on it and shit. But I'd tell you what, Chemical Wedding's better than any fucking Iron Maiden album since Somewhere in Time.
So is Accident. And I'll go.
I need to listen to that one more.
Accident of Birth and Chemical Wedding, both of them, to me, are better than anything Maiden's done since Power Slave.
Yeah, I need to check it out because I remember I didn't get Accident. Okay. I didn't get Accident of Birth because I thought that Balls to Picasso sucked so bad. But I took a chance on Chemical Wedding and it kicked ass.
And Skunk Work. Skunk Work was after Balls to Picasso. Not one that great either.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind Skunk Works, but I didn't buy it till after Chemical Wedding. But then Bruce put out one after Chemical Wedding called Tyranny of Souls or some shit like that. And I was kind of like, better than fucking Modern Maiden, but, it wasn't fucking Chemical Wedding. I'll tell you that much. But he's got a new one coming out called the Mandrake Project or some shit like that. And they're going to tour in early 2024. I think it's mostly like South America and Europe and shit like that. I don't think he's doing any American shit. Bruce Dickinson hates America. He hates America more than fucking Palestine. Yeah, whatever. I hope it's good. I hope
Bruce Dickinson hates America more than his dentist.
Yes.
That's bad.
Yes. But again, I'll give it a try. I'll download it for free. Hope it's good though, man. It can't be any worse than fucking New Maiden. So even though I'm very excited to go see Maiden, and to go with my boy and everything, I was a little disappointed. My son didn't even seem that excited. And I was like, oh, he must have listened to Shit Sitsu.
I wouldn't be excited to see Maiden now either.
Well, I mean, I just want to hear the fucking, Somewhere in Time shit. Because the only time I ever heard him play anything off of that album was the first time I saw him. They played Heaven Can Wait, which is my least favorite song on the album.
That song sucks. I hate that fucking.
Yeah.
When I saw Iron Maiden on the Somewhere in Time tour, all the way up to the X Factor with Blaze, every one of those shows they played Heaven Can Wait.
Oh,
and I'm like, fuck. Why?
They love that shit.
That song sucks.
Yeah. Maiden sucks.
It's the worst song off an album I don't like.
Yeah. All right. What else is going on here? The new singer from Skid Row is going to die any day now. He put out another cover song. This time doing Neon Nights.
It's good.
By Black Sabbath. Yeah. I dig it.
He's awesome.
I love every cover this kid does, and I think the Skid Row shit is horrendous, but he does great covers. I
love the Skid Row album. I love it.
Yeah. Good for you. Let's see what else. Here's something. I was gonna watch this, and I decided not to because I wanted to hear your live reaction. I guess it doesn't fucking matter though. But what did you think of this second Judas Priest song released, "Trial by Fire"?
I put a video up today about it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to watch it. I wanted to like get like a raw, honest reaction from you.
I
What do you
think
think?
it sucks as much as Panic Attack. I'm hating
Yeah.
both these new songs. I hate it. I hate them. Don't like them at all. I'm hoping they're
Okay.
as good because this shit sucks.
Well, I didn't hate it as much as you. Um, I thought it was better than Panic Attack, but by a cunt hair. I'm not liking the sound of the new album, which I'm surprised about because I love Andy Sneap as a producer. Uh, and he was amazing when we saw him live with Priest. Um, but yeah, I'm not feeling it, and I kind of get what you said. I saw your reaction video to Panic Attack, and you were talking about Judas Priest being stuck in this painkiller mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I agree with that. I think none of these songs stand up to the material on Painkiller, but it's like they're going for that same sound. But oh my God, that beginning of Panic Attack with the that shit was like, oh my God. But like even with the second the Trial by Fire song, um, I don't know. It's not like I think Rob sounds good. I don't like the production. I really don't. I think it sounds very. I don't know. Like nobody's trying very hard. And it sucks because almost everybody loves firepower. But it sounds like to me it's a mix between Nostradamus and Redeemer of Souls, which I don't hate Redeemer of Souls, but I thought a lot of the songwriting was forgettable. Where with Nostradamus, I just really fucking hated everything about it, and it's kind of mix of that. Like musically, it sounds like Nostradamus with the forgettability of Redeemer of Souls, and I'm just like, eh. I mean, I'm still gonna get it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'll shit on your deck. Um, but yeah, not impressed. Didn't think it was a standout. So I'm not surprised that's what your verdict was.
Yeah, and you know me, I don't know shit about production. All I know is those songs suck. That's all I could say. I don't know. I didn't notice no bad production. I just noticed two crappy songs.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What's the next story? So there's been some talk lately about these Randy Rhoads rehearsal tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Ozzy's camp is saying the quality's too low. It's not worth releasing. And then you get some shit from Bob Daisley, the genius behind Ozzy Osbourne, who says it's not as bad as they're making it sound. I think the true culprit here on why they're not being released is some rights issues that are probably owned by the family of Randy Rhoads. And I think that's really what's preventing this from happening. Because I think even with shit quality, if Sharon thought she could make a fucking buck off this shit, it would get released.
The thing is, it's not shit quality because Bob Daisley put up little clips and it sounds awesome. It's recorded on a boombox during rehearsal. But even that, it sounds amazing that it came from a boombox because I thought like the solos are so clear. He's got 8 hours of this shit. And it's like, them doing Crazy Train 20 times, Mr. Crowley 15 times, over and over again. But it's them writing the songs and what I heard, the quality, amazing.
Right. And that's what makes me think, it has to be a rights issue where Sharon doesn't want to give the family of Randy Rhoads any money. And they're like, well, fuck you. And I think that's the only reason it's not getting released because Sharon would jump on anything that would make money. And let's be honest, that it would sell more than these last couple of Ozzy albums, which haven't sold shit. I mean, I don't think Ozzy's had an album that's sold shit since probably Osmosis, which didn't sell a fraction of No More Tears. So I think that, yeah, it's got to be something money or they'd fucking release this shit because they're fucking jackals. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Fuck
Let's
Sharon
see.
Osbourne.
Yep. This is something that's going to come into the album we're talking about, but Biff Byford reflected on Saxon's most challenging period, and he was referring to the Dynasty album in that period. And I gotta agree, but even though I think it started earlier than that.
You mean Destiny?
Destiny, whatever the fuck. Horrible. But I think they kind of went on a slump that started with Innocence Is No Excuse, continued through Rock the Nations and Destiny. And then I think they got back on track.
I thought Destiny was pretty good. Step in the right direction.
Yeah?
I mean, it got better after that, but I thought it was better than the 2 albums prior to it.
Yeah, but that, them covering Christopher Cross,
That was terrible.
Yeah, that shit was terrible. All right, well, tell a funny anecdote to the good listeners here while I go take a hot piss. I'll be right back.
All right. When a little later in the show, he and I are going to talk about Carpe Diem, which is the Saxon last album. And I got to tell you, man, that, and believe me, I love Battering Ram and Metalhead and Killing Ground. I love all later Saxon albums. But Carpe Diem, to me, it's the best thing they've done since Denim and Leather, I think. I think it's a horrendously solid, killer metallic masterpiece that I think you all should check out, man. It's really good. Biff is sounding awesome. The whole band is tight and awesome. And I really hope I can see Saxon again. I've seen him 2 times. I saw the Denim and Leather tour open for Triumph, and I saw them headline up in Tampa on the, was it Battery Ram? Yeah, I think it was Battery Ram tour. And man, what an awesome band. They're amazing. And this last album, Carpe Diem, which we'll be talking about later on in the show, fucking awesome. I think Ian's coming back. So we'll find out some more news with the weather girl here. Ian Wadley.
What up?
What's up? All right, what's next in the news?
All right. Did you see the footage of Kirk Hammett falling on stage and getting pretty pissed?
No.
Yeah, I guess at a new Metallica show, he was tripped up by his wah-wah pedal. And they got into a fight and Kirk Hammett ate shit. No, this is a real story. He fell down and then got up all pissed and threw his guitar and wasn't too happy.
Poor Kirk.
Yeah, well, I guess the wah-wah pedal was tired of being abused since like 1989.
Yeah.
So. Oh, well. Let's see. What else? You did not go see Exodus in Fort Lauderdale?
No, man, let me tell you something.
Okay, tell me something.
I've never experienced so much rain in my life. There was this crazy rainstorm here that lasted about 24 hours. And it was the night of that show. And I wasn't going to go anyway. Look, man, I'm not a big Exodus dude. I love Bonded by Blood. I love Temple of the Dam, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see Exodus, especially Exodus open for some band I don't care for. Fit for an Autopsy, whatever it was called.
What is that shit? Are they like fucking death metal or some shit?
Sucks. Yeah, it's like death metal. It's shitty shit. That I don't know. I'm not a big Exodus dude. You know, I'm not a big Testament guy. I like a couple of their albums, and that's it. I love Death Angel though; they're awesome.
That's funny. You said shitty shit. Shitty shit is the new band with Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, Vic Johnson, and Jason Bonham. That'll be opening up for the Van Hagar experience. God. Well, we love Jack Gibson though. Jack Gibson, good friend of the show. We interview every single Rockin' Pod.
Yep.
All right. Gene Simmons says Kiss is done performing after the farewell tour show. My hand on the Bible. And I also saw where he said the band is done, but not the brand.
No, the brand is done too. He just doesn't know it yet.
So what do you expect after the farewell show, the Madison Square Garden final show? Do you think it's going to be like mass live shows compilation? Because they're going to keep selling shit and shelling shit. What do you expect out of Kiss?
They'll play again live. I don't know if it'll be a full blown tour, but they'll do like some Vegas residency. They'll play. I don't know. They'll play here and there.
Yeah.
And try to disguise it as, oh, we're done. But honestly, they're gonna have to play shows if they want to make money, because there's no money in Kiss merch. There's no money in these box sets they're releasing. The money is when they go out on tour. They get paid $1 million a show. They're going to be paid $1 million for anything else they do,
Yeah.
And they're going to have to play live because they're money hungry. And Ace Frehley is fucking money hungry too. Ace Frehley said this. He said, I'll go up on stage with Tommy Thayer in full makeup if they pay me the right price. What a bitch.
He said that?
He said that. He said, you know me, I'm the Ace guy, but I ain't defending the motherfucker when he said that. I was like, you're no different than Gene and Paul, You're money. But Gene and Paul is like, look, if they really cared about the fans, they'd pay Ace what he asking for. They would pay him to do it for the fans. But they won't. They're like, fuck the fans. They ain't paying Ace that much. Peter Criss has been quiet this whole time. I don't think he wants anything to do with any of this shit.
Well, I think he's just keeping his mouth shut because he's hoping for like a measly paycheck.
No, but Peter Criss is living good. He saved his money, invested it well. And Peter Criss played some jazz not too long ago in a little club, and he was awesome. He was fucking badass. For an old guy, he was kicking ass on drums.
Here's my prediction for this shit. I think, you're going to see the farewell show and everything. And then I think probably what you're going to see is a one-off of the original that they're going to charge a gazillion for. And it's going to be, I think the drums will be just as piped in as Paul's vocals. But I think they'll do like an original afterwards, trying to get like a final payday kind of thing. And I think you're going to see like a bunch of, reissues and, live shit, anything to make some fucking money.
I'll tell you this right now. And I kept my word when Ian challenged me. Ian said, you're going to go to the end of the road tour because somebody's going to offer you a free ticket. And I told Ian, if somebody offered me a free ticket, I'm still not going. Well, I stuck to my word because Kiss, with Paul saying, come see us, because when we come to your town, we're never coming back. Well, after they came back 3 times, I got offered free tickets all 3 times. And I denied it. And I will say it right now.
That's awesome.
Original Kiss gets back together with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. They can play across the street. I will not go even for free. Fuck, I'm done with Kiss. I'm done seeing them live. Fuck Kiss. I'm not going to see. I don't give a fuck. This fucking original lineup. I don't give a fuck. I
love it. I love it.
I mean,
I agree. I agree. And but there's people who pay for it, you know.
Of
So
course.
whatever.
Oh, no,
I
no.
could give a shit less.
I'll tell you this right now. It'll do better than the end of the road tour. That's for
Oh fuck
sure.
yeah.
That's for
Oh
sure.
fuck yeah.
You know. But
And yeah.
I'm done.
All right. What else we got here? Oh, this looks nice, man. Slayer is releasing a 40th anniversary edition of Show No Mercy. There's like a whole box set coming out with a colored vinyl, a book, like a Slayer vinyl mat for your record player and shit. I think this shit's coming out in February, and I would shell out money for that.
I'm getting it.
Yeah,
That's like my favorite Slayer, man. Metal Blade Slayer is my favorite Slayer. So yeah, I will definitely get it because I thought it looked cool.
yeah, yeah. I will definitely check that out too. I did check something out that may or may not, probably not of interest to you, but I had to check it out just to be fair, just to say, hey, I gave it a listen to. I'll see what it is. Did you hear the new song from Molly Hatchet?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really hate it, but
What?
no, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. It was all right. It was like whatever, you know. There,
Oh,
there's not one original member of Molly Hatchet in this fucking band.
I know, and that's my whole point. You know, I was like, well, who's left? Because I think when I saw them open up for Blue Oyster Cult, there was one original. I always make a joke about they had an original roadie, but I think at the point I saw them in the late '90s, there was one member left. But now there's like no members left. And I was like, well, let me check it out and see, because I do like some. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'll shit on your dick. Um, I like Gator Country. I love Flirt with Disaster and shit like that. I'm like, let me give it a try. That shit sounded like Toto meets Hootie and the Blowfish. It was fucking horrible. And then, did you see the album cover for the new album?
No, that I didn't see.
Oh my God. Talk about some horrible computer generated, like we can't afford to spend anything on the album cover. Those classic Molly Hatchet albums were known for the, like, Frank Forenza or whatever the fuck his name is, the Conan guy, doing the covers and shit. It looks terrible. And to me, it just sounded like bad commercial Southern rock fucking crap, but like modern and oh, what a fucking turd. What a fucking Molly Hatchet. Give me a fucking break. Let's see. What's going on here? Anything else you would be interested in?
You know who owns Molly Hatchet?
Who?
Foreigner.
Yeah. At least they sound good.
And here's a fun fact about Foreigner. Every member of Foreigner are foreigners to the original lineup.
I see what you did there. Oh my God. I doubt you even took the time to listen to this, but I did, and I wish I didn't. Um, did you hear the new song from Jack Russell and Tracy Guns?
No, I didn't even know it was out. I did see they were working together.
Oh, holy shit! Is it bad? I'm talking across the fucking board. There is like not one good thing you could say about anything.
Hey, you know what I like? I like
What's
the
that?
Dokken album.
You like the new Dokken album?
Yeah, I think it's pretty damn good.
I've got it. I haven't listened to it yet. I heard the two songs that they made videos for, and I thought they sucked.
I thought the whole album was really good.
Okay, well, I'll give it a chance. What's funny is because I'm not paying money for that shit after I heard those two songs, so I downloaded it, and then I just saw today they posted like the Japanese edition, so of course it's got a bonus song, and so I downloaded that, and I'll get rid of the other one. But like in reality, like I'll probably never listen. I've got 20,000 fucking albums. I'll probably never fucking listen to it. But those two singles I heard, I thought were horrendous.
I enjoyed it.
I thought Don sounded well. Hey, I'm happy for you. And hey, it's a good sign. If you like it, probably somebody else out there will too. But I don't. Who knows? There's probably a song on the album you think sucks, and I'll be like, "Oh, that song's awesome."
No, I
You
like
know,
every song.
okay. But yeah, this Jack Russell, Tracy Gunn shit. They're putting out an album called Medusa,
Yeah,
and
there's two people that I only like their first album, L.A. Guns and Get Great White. Only their
yeah,
first album was good. I thought everything else they did was shit. And I gotta say, which we should bring up, Steve Riley died.
oh yeah, very
And
sad.
and I gotta say, man, I dig Steve Riley's L.A. Guns.
Oh yeah,
I've been
much
I,
better.
I've been saying this for a while. You know how, man, and actually Steve Riley liked my comment. You know, before he was like, dude, literally like less than a week before he died, he didn't say anything. He just liked my comment where I said, man, you know, I didn't know he was going to see it. I just wrote, man, this LA Guns with Steve Riley is better than that Black Diamonds crap that LA Guns just released.
Right.
And the last song he released, which that album's coming out in February, something called Heavy Horses or something like that. That's the best song yet out of all these killer songs. And yeah, they're way better than the LA Guns with Phil and Tracy.
Yeah, I haven't heard the studio shit from Stephen Riley's shit, but I saw live clips from like the M3 festival, and man, I thought they sounded fucking good. And I thought it was funny. I saw one of the last interviews he did where he was talking about like how ironic he thinks it is that Tracy and Phil are back together. He's like, they hate each other. He goes, I don't care what they're portraying or whatever. This is for money. They do not like each other. And now you see that Tracy's doing an album with Jack Russell. You know, to me, it kind of shows that, you know, if he was really all on board with Phil and vice versa, they'd be concentrating on that. But anyway, this new song, it's terrible. The guitar, there's nothing that screams like, hey, it's Tracy Guns. Not that he's that identifiable, but I mean, there's nothing special there. The songwriting is horrendous. The lyrics are Sammy Hagar level bullshit, and the vocals don't sound great, and that sucks because I love Jack Russell, love Jack Russell, I'm much more of an LA Guns fan than you. But yeah, it's just dog shit, dude. It's dog shit. Really, really fucking bad. So Judas Priest announces a spring 2004 tour with Sabaton. I don't know much about Sabaton other than the guy wears a fucking chest piece, which I think looks retarded.
They suck.
Have you ever listened to?
I've seen Sabaton many times.
Oh yeah, are they power metal? Because that's what I get by looking at them.
Not really, but I guess in the realm, it's just I don't like it. I've heard worse, but I would not buy a Sabaton album. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever heard a Sabaton album, but I've seen them 3 or 4 times opening for people at the Culture Room, and I did it once for Priest. I saw them up for Priest. They're just they're whatever, man. They seem like nice guys, but not my thing.
Yeah, they look like douchebags. But yeah, so whatever. It's not coming by either one. Well, the closest you would get is going to Daytona for that Daytona Rock.
I would not go.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, fuck going to a festival show unless you're in Europe. You know, because you're going to see an abbreviated set, you know, a greatest hit set. So, whatever. But I'll tell you what, if they come to Seattle, I'll go fucking see them. Fucking ain't right.
They're going to go see Rob Halford's solo band featuring Ian Hill.
Yeah.
It's not Judas Priest anymore. Look, Firepower is great, but Firepower is not Judas Priest to me, man. It's a killer Rob Halford solo album. I just don't, dude. I don't know, man. Glenn Tipton, KK Downing, Rob Halford. They all three have to be there for it to be Judas Priest. You can even get rid of Ian Hill. I don't give a fuck. But those three are essential to the Judas Priest sound. They are the songwriting team of Judas Priest. And honestly, man, without those three people, it's a Rob Halford solo band to me.
Right. Well, I guess something, I've been kind of scared to bring this up to you because I know how much you love this band, and I know it's probably very upsetting for you. But how are you dealing with Slipknot firing Jay? What's his name? Winsberg, whatever.
I would not know.
Weinberg, whatever. Yeah, Max Weinberg. Yeah, Max Weinberg.
Yeah, it's Max Weinberg's son, actually.
Yeah.
They fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully they'll start firing themselves after that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I listen to Slipknot and I miss Sammy Hagar. I don't think I have ever heard a worse band in my life than Slipknot.
What
worst shit I've ever heard.
What's funny is I haven't liked any Slipknot song I've heard since Iowa. And then I heard the first track on their last studio album was, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And then I was like, man, maybe I need to give the album a chance. And I started listening to it. No, it was a fucking anomaly. It was fucking horrible. The rest of the shit was fucking like, like this is what Ralph must feel like when he has to review this shit. Only I wasn't getting paid. I was like, oh, this sucks. Shut it off.
Yeah, and I did this shit. And most everybody was telling me that's their two best albums. I was like, holy shit. You mean it gets worse than this?
Oh, it does. It does.
Hard to believe.
But speaking of shit music, and I did see a video you put out on this, but I think it's so horrible it still has to be mentioned. That fucking Mick Mars song.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
That sucked. That sucked so hard. It was modern bullshit.
Oh, it was so bad. And what sucks is kind of like you with you got some inside info on the new Ace Frehley record you can't talk about.
Yeah.
I've got some behind the scenes info on the Mick Mars solo album that I'm not privy to talk about. But oh my God, did that suck?
Horrible.
Oh, it was so bad. And I was looking at comments on YouTube, and I could not believe that people were like, "Oh, this is really good. I like this."
Yeah, I saw people going, "Oh, yeah, this explains why Motley Crue has not been good for a long time. They've been holding Mick down." No, if Mick would have contributed, they still would have been shitty albums.
Yeah, that shit was fucking horrendous. That was like Saints of Los Angeles bad.
Yeah.
Whew. Here's something what's funny. This man is my Lord and Savior, but everything new I've heard has been breaking my heart, so I didn't even check it out. I think I checked out like maybe 5 seconds of it, and I got scared. Did you hear the David Lee Roth song "High Fashion Girl"?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
Sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. I don't like none of these John 5 songs you've been releasing. They're all.
I know, which I don't get because I love the DLR Band album.
I love most of it. I had to listen to it today because I did a track by track. There's like 4 or 5 tracks on the DLR album that are piss poor, but the good songs are good. Little that's awesome.
Well, actually, I mean, I I'm trying to think if there's a song I don't like on the album. I think I like all the songs. I think some songs Dave doesn't sound good on. But the ones I don't like, I think Dave's the weak point. I don't think it's the songs actually, and I love like Black Sand. I love when Dave does the weird different shit.
Yeah,
Um,
another track by track I did today was Your Filthy Little Mouth.
ugh.
Yeah, but man, there's a song on there called Sunburn.
One of my favorite Dave songs ever.
I fucking love that song. Land's Edge.
Oh,
Land's Edge is awesome.
yeah.
Nightlife, which is a bluesy song. I hate the blues, but I love
Yeah.
that.
I think that's a Willie Nelson song.
Yeah, it's a cover song.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
And
No,
but then the rest is just,
yeah. There's some horrible shit on there. There's some shit I like, but but Sunburn I think is one of the best things he ever did. To me, it's like Secrets Part 2.
Yeah. Nice and chill. Genius lyrics with the birds on the power line. Music notes. That's brilliant, man.
It's hard to find a Dave song where the lyrics suck. There's been a couple, but for the most part, it's like he's always going to nail it there. It's whether he nails it vocally or not. Or if he strays too far. Like I really fucking hate that Cheating Heart Cafe shit he does with Travis Tritt. Yeah, that's fucking.
And then there's that other one that's even worse. The one with I think a reggae guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both horrendous.
Yeah. But no, Sunburn, what's so funny is I've seen on like some Van Halen pages where these Hagar fucking pedophiles, they're like, Secrets is terrible. That's like the worst Van Halen song.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, Secrets is fucking magic. There is a magic about that song. And I think he taps back into it. Ones I would compare with that is, and I don't think you're a fan of the song, but I love it, but Hina off of Skyscraper.
I love the solo on that song, though.
I love that. And Sunburn, though. But Sunburn, oh my God, do I love that song. But I didn't listen to the whole thing. I'm very disappointed. I had high hopes when the project was first talked about, but most of what I've heard, even the shit that like you like and other people have praised, I haven't heard one where I'm like, now I see why he's sitting on it. But another story that came to light while we were off was the shit where Wolfgang, who apparently hates David Lee Roth now because he shits on him in every interview, but says that it's not on a different kind of truth isn't on streaming because Dave doesn't like it.
Yeah, I did a news story about that.
Yeah, what's your opinion on that? Do you think that's real or?
Yeah, I believe Wolfgang. I do believe him.
But I'm wondering, like, does Dave not like it, or is it a money issue, or I don't know.
I don't know if he doesn't like it. Wolfgang said he doesn't like it. Dave has gotten really wacky. I mean, he gets wackier. The big story is that he didn't want Eddie Van Halen's name used on the Eddie Van Halen tribute. That's what they're saying. Like David Roth didn't want Eddie Van Halen's. He just has these whacked out. I think Dave. I think he's suffering from something.
Yeah.
You look at old interviews with Dave. He was coherent. He was funny. Now it's like, man, only he gets to what he's saying. And it's just so fucking out there. It's like Dave is gone, basically. The Dave I loved. Even performance-wise, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Last time I saw Van Halen, I never seen Eddie Van Halen play that good in my life. And I saw all the 80s shows.
Yeah.
But I thought Eddie Van Halen was the best the last couple tours. I thought he played better than Eddie tour. But Dave, other than the first reunion in 2007, Dave sounded great. But after that, it just went downhill. But
yeah, I mean, I see the videos he puts up on his YouTube page, and it's like constant remixes of Lizzo songs, and But I mean, it's just weird shit, and I mean, it's still got more talent than Sammy
Yeah,
Hagar.
of course, it's better
It,
than
it
that.
but yeah, it's kind of rough. Uh, but at least we can admit that, though. Like so many people are like, oh, you're a Roth tard.
No,
It's like,
I admit it all the time. But
you know,
I always say, you know what, man? Dave is just old.
yeah,
Still gonna be the greatest frontman ever. I don't care how
right,
shitty he is now. What he
yeah,
did in the '80s up to '86. Every show
uh-huh.
I saw with Van Halen and the Eat 'Em and Smile tour, dude, on Skyscraper, I started to see some cracks in the dent.
Yeah.
And every show after that, it wasn't as good as Eat 'Em and Smile
But
down.
something I think and some people are going to have a hard time swallowing this, even though they like to get fucked in the ass by children. Van Halen never would have made it without Dave. Because think about it, as great as Eddie is, as great as influential as he is, look how many shit bands have a great guitar player that didn't make it. Look how many great fucking prime example. We both saw him live, and you hit me to him. You're like, no, check this guy out, Andy Timmons
Yeah,
from Danger Danger.
awesome.
Oh, what a virtuoso! I saw him live. I was blown away. But his band didn't have that fucking X factor. There's nothing that pushed him over the top. If you didn't have Dave selling early Van Halen to put that shit on the map, like if they came out the gate with Sammy Hagar, they never would have made it.
Never.
Never would have made it to that level. They would have been Montrose.
Yeah.
Okay. Ronnie Montrose, great guitar player. Okay. Great riffs, great everything. Never would have fucking made it. Sammy does not have that X factor. He has that jumped on the bandwagon, appeal. Seriously, anybody could have replaced Dave after that, and it would have sold because the brand was so big then. It's like the Beatles could have kicked out Lennon and got somebody else in '70, and it would have sold a lot of records. Because they were like at that point. But without Dave, they never would have. It was the perfect mix of Eddie and Dave. But you take one out of the equation, it never would have happened. Never. Not in a million fucking years. They would have been just another band. Look how many bands in the 80s had great musicians that never achieved anything. It's not always about talent. It's about having that perfect mix, that X factor. You know, why do you think Sammy's going out on tour doing this? It's all he has. It's all he has at this point. Is, hey, remember when I was in Van Halen? Remember when I was in Van Halen? Nobody gives a shit.
It's not a big appeal to the masses, but a really, really great band I thought was a band called UK.
I've heard of them. I know of them, but I've never heard them.
It featured John Wetton, the amazing singer from Asia.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
But on guitar, one of the
Right.
greatest guitar players ever, Alan Holdsworth. The guy.
Oh yeah, Alan Holdsworth. Yeah.
A freak of nature, but
yeah, one of Eddie's favorite guitar players.
Yeah. But as you see, Roth wasn't in the band, so it didn't sell.
Yeah, Eddie was actually supposed to produce one of his solo albums, I believe. And some shit happened. Yeah, Eddie worshipped him. And yeah, guitar masturbatory motherfuckers know who Alan Holdsworth is. Nobody else fucking does. He's like another Al Di Meola. If you're not a fucking guitar nerd, you have no fucking clue. I never would have given Andy Timmons a chance. I would have sat out and drank in the bar during that show if you wouldn't have said, hey, go check him out. Because I'm like, danger, get the fuck out of here, And he was amazing, So, yeah. No Dave, no deal. Let's see. Do we got another story before we go into the album? Let's see here. Oh, well, this is kind of funny. Did you see that Venom Inc. parted ways with their drummer.
Yeah.
And then he made a post about Slipknot. So the big rumor is like he's going to be the new drummer in Slipknot. He made a post and then took it down, which yeah, that'd be a waste.
Yeah. Gotta make rules.
Let's see. Anything else? Oh, Sammy Hagar fans are pedophile. Oh, wait a minute. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
All right. Sammy Hagar fans like to be fucked in the ass by children. Do we have anything? Oh, here. Yeah. Here's another story. Sammy Hagar fans like to be fucked in the ass by children. A lot of those stories. I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
Did you read that one story of the Sammy Hagar fan that got fucked in the ass by children and then said, I could beat up Ralphie's weak?
Yeah, well, I didn't read it. I heard it on the Freeform Rock podcast.
Nobody heard anything on Freeform.
Yeah, I'm just making that up. All right, fuck it. Let's get into the album. And this is one I kind of threw it. I know we still have a handful of fan episodes left, but as I talked about earlier in the show, my work schedule's been crazy.
Keep talking as I fill my glass.
Go ahead. I was like, fuck it. We got to do a show. Let's just pick something. And I saw this story on Blabbermouth, and the headline was Biff Byford, and he was saying, we're just as known as Iron Maiden, we're just not as popular. And I thought it was a brilliant comment, and very true. I mean, most people who know metal know who Saxon is. Of course, everybody knows who Iron Maiden is. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, everybody knows Saxon, but they never broke over the way Iron Maiden did. But in my opinion, as crazy as it sounds, they're a better band.
Way better.
I look at the discography and everything and what they're doing now in their career, and I was like, fuck, let's talk about some Saxon. So, I threw that at Ralph, and I was hoping to do like a classic one. I think we might have done one other Saxon. I'm not sure. But I was wanting to do like a classic one. Ralph's like, well, the latest album's so fucking awesome. Let's do that. And I was like, okay, whatever. As long as we're talking about Saxon. And, it's just like, fuck, listen to this album over and over. I'm like, this band is so good, so underrated. I was lucky enough to see them a couple years ago, and they just blew my mind. I mean, I saw them at a small venue in New Orleans, and, you would swear they were on stage at fucking Reading or fucking Wacken or whatever. I mean, they gave it their fucking all. It was an incredible show. And I remember particularly when this album first came out, got it, loaded on my phone. I was listening to it one day at work, usually would have my phone on shuffle, and a song came on. I was like, God damn, which one's this? It's like, oh, this is the new one. And then I was like, okay, let me take it off shuffle, listen to the whole album. And I was surprised at how strong it was. And I was like, God damn, this is good. But it was one of those, like, I listened to it a couple times, like, yeah, this is really good. But I always go back and listen to old shit. It's the old man in me. It's very rare a new album really sticks around. Even when I like it, it's hard for it to stick around. But man, listening to it today, I listened to it 3 times today, getting ready for this review, and I was just fucking blown away. But how did you first come into Saxon? I mean, what album? Who turned you on? Did you stick with them? Did you peter out? What happened?
It was MTV showing Princes of the Night. That video. I fell in love with it. I ran out and bought Denim and Leather, which is still my favorite Saxon album. Then I bought Strong Arm of the Law after that. and Wheels of Steel. Then I love Power of the Night. Crusader was weak, but the song Crusader rules. Then after that is when they took a dip. But I got to see Saxon on the Denim and Leather tour open for Triumph in Miami, and that was amazing. They came down here the year before, Strong Arm of the Law, opening for Rush on the Permanent Waves tour.
Wow.
And I couldn't go to that, man. I wanted to badly. Yeah, and you know, and then I every time Saxon released something, I would check it out. You know, I didn't give up on them. I just gave up on buying their shit. But then, you know, after Destiny, I started buying their stuff again. And yeah, they've just been releasing top quality shit ever since for like 20 years now. Every Saxon album's been great. Every one of them has been great. But this one, the last one, Carpe Diem, I think is the best out of all of them. Because as great as all those albums are, yeah, there's a couple songs on there that I'm kind of like, not this album. Every song's a winner on this album. That's why I think it's the best album they've done since Denim and Leather. Absolutely love Carpe Diem.
Awesome. I first heard them, I got to say 88. Had a friend, Paul Turngren. I know he's not listening, but I got to give him a shout out. He turned me on to like some really cool shit, like the first LA Guns, right when that came out, the Cramps, and Saxon. You know, he's like, you know, he was big into all kinds of shit. You know, he was a huge Zappa fan too, but he was really into the new wave of British heavy metal. And he's like, you got to check out this band Saxon. And I think I'd probably, and I don't know if I read a story on them in a Hit Parader, but you would see their T-shirts. Remember, I used to have all the T-shirt ads and everything in the back of the magazine. So I knew there was a band called Saxon, but didn't know a whole lot about them. And he let me borrow the cassette of Strong Arm of the Law, and I was like, man, this shit's really good. But it wasn't. I liked it, but I didn't run out and get it for whatever reason. But it wasn't because I didn't like it. It's just, you know, late 80s, I was into the whole cock rock thing. But I always remember, like, I did that Saxon shit. And when I was coming up into metal and everything, late 80s, early 90s, Saxon at that time was a little bit of a joke, you know, and like their time had come and gone. And I always remember my best friend. There's a part in a Pantera video where Phil Anselmo makes a joke about they're in Russia. He's like, "Oh, that's all the people gathered around for the annual Saxon concert," and he always took that as like Phil was making fun of Saxon, so they must suck, you know. So to him, like, yeah, I'm not gonna listen to that because Phil doesn't think they're cool. And it's funny how shit like that happens when you're young. I mean, I know a lot of people who, you know, got turned on to Prong because Pantera wore a Prong shirt in the Cemetery Gates video, you know, shit like that. So shit like that's influential and means a lot when you're a kid. But he never gave him a chance where I went back, looked into him, and I was like, shit, this band kicks ass. And I just got more and more into them. And as I checked out the discography, yes, they did take a turn for the worst, in my opinion, after Crusader. I like probably Crusader more than you do. But like, you know, Innocence is No Excuse, Rock the Nations and Destiny. Yeah, I didn't really like. But when I went back and, you know, checked out their catalog from Solid Ball of Rock, and even Biff says this, you know, they kind of found their footing again, started working their way back up. And much like you said, it's solid album after solid album. And when I saw this comment, you know, about Biff saying, oh, we're just as known as Maiden, we're just not as popular, I started thinking about it. It's like, but look at the catalog. To me, Saxon has a better overall catalog than Maiden. But they didn't put out, you know, the first Maiden album through, yeah, I know you'll say Power Slave, I'll say through Somewhere in Time. I don't think they ever put out albums that were as important or as, groundbreaking as those. But if you add up the catalog, I look at it the same way as I look at Metallica versus Overkill. Okay, nothing Overkill's done has touched the first four Metallica albums. But if you look overall, there's Overkill has a 10 times better discography than Metallica. Metallica's got way more shittier albums than Overkill's ever put out.
Anthrax.
What's that?
Anthrax as well.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. One's a little bit more influential, but if you're looking at a full discography and a full catalog, to me, Saxon's a stronger band because Saxon, since I think Solid Ball of Rock was 91 or 92, in my opinion, they haven't put out a bad album. Now, some are definitely better than others. But then you look at Maiden, and I look at what Maiden's done from, Seventh Son on to now. There's not a whole lot in there that I think is great or that I would put up against their earlier career. Where with Saxon, they're just building on it, And I think some people look at Saxon like, well, who's in the band now? And blah, blah, blah. I mean, let me check. I mean, this has been a solid lineup. I mean, Paul Quinn's just recently retired from touring and stuff. But if you look at the band, hold on here. Let me bring up the dates. Doug Scarlett, who is amazing on guitar, has been there since 95. Nibs Carter on bass has been there since 1988. Niall Glockler has been in and out, but for the most part, from 81 to now. Paul Quinn, he's kind of doing the Glenn Tipton. He's not touring, but he's still going to be part of the band. And Biff Byford's been there since 1975. So they really haven't had much of a lineup change since 95, which is incredible. And they just put out great metal. I mean, great blue collar, British new wave of heavy metal fucking music. And, I was looking today, this album was released in 22. I mean, we're still in 2023. And I think Biff's like fucking 72 or some shit like that. So, okay, he recorded this 69, 70. Everybody talks about people like, Glenn Hughes, like, oh my God, how does he still sound like? How does Biff Byford still sound like this?
Yep, he still sounds awesome.
Yeah, his voice has not aged, much like Glenn Hughes. But nobody talks about that. This guy sounds amazing. Listen to the drums on this fucking album. And this guy recorded this when he was like 68 or whatever. Listen to the drums on this and think about a 68-year-old playing this shit.
No, let me tell you, I saw Saxon like 3 years ago, and Nigel killed it on stage.
Yeah.
Killed it. Amazing. Still an amazing drummer. And I talked to him after the show. And, he didn't play on Denim and Leather, but he did the Denim and Leather tour.
Right.
Pete Gill joined Motorhead.
Right.
Who, by the way, another amazing drummer. Dude, his drumming on No Remorse and on Orgasmatron, that's some awesome drumming that dude had as well. But Nigel's amazing. And I talked to him after the show, and he's very old. And he's very, like Ian Pay's another one. Ian Pay hasn't lost anything. And he's old, but he's just as good as when he was young.
Yeah, but even Ian Pace, who I think like technically is a more, he's more like a Bill Ward type jazzy kind of drummer. The shit you hear on this album coming from Nigel, and this motherfucker just had like a heart attack a year or two ago and still kicking ass, and it's just, it's mind blowing. And it's sad that a lot of people in this country, don't give them a fucking chance. And this band has like they've never stopped since they came out. You know what? 79, the first album came out. Their popularity has waned and gone up. And I saw this video on YouTube. It was so sad. It was like a show. It was like a British reality show they were on in the mid or late 90s. And basically it was like kind of like what you'd see in the States, a Shark Tank, where they try to tell you how to sell it and do all this. And these people are just telling them what they need to do to be relevant now and all this shit, giving them horrible fucking advice. And this band shouldn't even be on that show, but this is like the kind of shit they had to do to keep in the public eye and to try to make some money and do all this. This band has never given up. And they're rewarded in Europe, and not only Europe, but Russia, other, probably South America, everywhere but America, they're respected. They can headline at Vakken, they can do all this shit. In the States, nobody wants to fucking know nothing about them. And it's fucking sad, man, because not only is their past work amazing, what they've been doing now, if you take Saxon from Solid Ball of Rock 92 to now, and you put that up against what Maiden's done in that same time, not even close. Not even fucking close. Maiden is so bloated and fucking repetitive and fucking, I don't know, just sounds stale as fuck.
But they got Eddie.
Well, yeah. But these guys have not only managed to keep that like Saxon sound, but they've pumped it up a couple notches. I mean, there's shit on this that to me is thrashier and more like relevant than what Metallica's doing now. But you never know it. But Metallica loves to, play Motorcycle Man and do all this shit. But do they take Saxon on tour with them? Nope. They'll take Days of the Fucking New. Not Saxon. Not Merciful Fate. This band kicks ass, and like I said, initially I was hoping Ralph picked like a classic album to do, but man, by the time I listened to this for the third time today, I was like, I'm so glad he picked this album, because more people need to check this out, and don't forget, don't do what I did initially, listen to it and go, hey, that's a good album, and then forget about it. Keep listening to it, because as the more and more I listen to this today, I just fell in love with it. More and more every fucking listen. I'm like, God damn, this is vital new metal coming out by a bunch of fucking senior citizens.
Give me 1 second.
Seriously. Senior fucking citizens putting out metal that's just as good, if not better, than what anybody else is putting out right now. Fuck, take that Ghost shit and shove it up your fucking ass. And I love old Ghost. But, you listen to the new Ghost album and you listen to this shit, get the fuck out of here. It ain't even fucking close. Ain't even fucking close. You listen to Metallica 72 Seasons. Listen to this. To me, not even fucking close. What's fucking better? What's more metal? What has more staying power? Yeah, bands like Iron Maiden, Metallica have the brand, Ghost, all this shit. This is a better metal album than any of those fucking bands.
Oh yeah, it's better than the last Ghost album.
Oh yeah,
definitely better. Last Ghost album is better than the Metallica album. So I'll say this.
Yeah,
and the Metallica album as well. Yeah, man. Saxon is an institution, and they've been doing. I mean, yeah, I love this album so much, but man, everything they've done before this,
bad. Oh yeah,
Killing Ground, Call to Arms.
Oh yeah, fucking
all amazing.
Metalhead, fucking Into the Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battle Ram. Yeah, all that shit, dude. It's fucking killer, and they're getting ready to put out a new album.
Yeah,
and in my opinion, I'm very excited to see. I don't know what's going to happen yet, because Paul Quinn's still with the band, but he's not touring with them. But now they're touring with Brian Tatler from fucking Diamond Head.
Yeah.
So I can only like wonder what the possibilities are with him riding with them. I mean, I just see that as a match made in fucking heaven.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to be. They haven't really announced yet. You know, is he going to be involved in the writing process? But could you? And what's funny is the last Saxon tour, Diamond Head was opening up. I mean, what a fucking bill that is to begin with. But could you imagine adding that? You know, that Diamond Head magic with Saxon. I mean, holy fucking shit! If you love traditional fucking metal, which you should if you listen to this show, you know, and especially the new wave of British heavy metal, which I mean, that runs through Ralph and I's veins like crazy. That is the stuff, you know, that's our bread and butter is the new wave of British heavy metal, you know. Uh, I'm very excited, and to see a band that did this just a couple years ago, I have all the faith in the world that, you know, whatever they put out now, I think it's going to blow away whatever Judas Priest is putting out. Actually, I was thinking this to myself earlier today. I was listening to this. I think I would take Carpe Diem over Firepower.
I would. I totally would.
Yeah.
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 Easily. And I love Firepower.
Yeah.
This is better.
Yeah, I do too. All right, well, Ralph, why don't you take the opening track, the title track?
Oh man, what an opening track it is. Traditional metal at its finest. You know, yeah, it's got a spooky little intro. It goes on a little too long. So my only complaint about the whole album is the intro down a little bit. Get right into the meat of the killer metal. Carpe Diem. Awesome, awesome song. Absolutely love it. Great opening track. Great title track.
All right. I'm going to kind of mirror that, and I got to look at my notes because I've been drinking since early this afternoon. When I first heard that intro, I was like, "Oh, this could be bad." You know, much like what Ralph said. I'm like, "Oh, this could be too much." You know, and Ralph likes some power metal and shit, where I'm a little bit more unforgiving. But I was like, "Oh, this could suck. This could be going the wrong direction." And then that riff kicks in. Never mind. This kicks ass. Damn, Biff and the boys sound better than bands half their age. I mean, seriously, at the time of recording, this lead singer is 69 years old and sounds like this. It's fucking amazing. And they put out 4 videos for this song. I mean, for this album, including this title track. I mean, just fucking unreal. I'll take the next song, Age of Steam. The beginning of this sounds like Modern Priest to me, and that's not a bad thing. And keep in mind, the producer on this is Andy Sneap. Probably my favorite producer right now for metal. To me, he runs a good mix of modern production values, but keeping the same heaviness. You know, it's not as polished as like, you know, with Modern Maiden, you get that horrible Kevin Shirley production that they've had for, you know, since Brave New World, which just sounds so sterile and so stale. And sounds like this guy, you know, has no balls to tell you, hey, this ain't working or you've done this before. Andy Sneap keeps it fresh. Kind of similar to Roy Z, but a little bit more punch. You know, and in a world of where, you know, you don't have the old school Martin Birches and the Terry Dates these days, you do have Andy Sneap. And yeah, little bit of priest worship, but then when it kicks in, you have a modern Saxon classic to me. You know, it's not a rehash, but there's enough here on this song that lets you know, yes, you are listening to Saxon, and I love Age of Steam. I think it kicks ass. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Biff sounds so fucking badass on this tune. Total metallic greatness. Love it. Next one is The Pilgrimage, which is slowing it down. I think it's an awesome melodic tune. It's one of my favorites on this album. It kind of like a little shade to the album to give it, to make it a little different. But amazing song. I love it. I love the Pilgrimage.
Well, I concur, you son of a bitch. I love this one, and this is one that every time I listen to it, I get it more and more. And to me, it harkens back to like a song like Crusader. There's something vintage Saxon about this. It is the epic track. It's over 6 minutes long. And here's another thing that's awesome about this. This album is 10 songs, 44 minutes long. Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Does what it has to do. Gets the fuck out of there. There's not 37 bonus tracks that you can tell why it's a B-side and shit like that. But the Pilgrimage, again, what a fucking grower. I mean, I loved it the first time, but the more and more I hear it, I'm like, God damn, it's Saxon through and through. Lyrically, musically, vocally, everything about this. It's probably my favorite track on the album. And that's saying something because this motherfucker is chock full. I'll take the next one, Dam Busters. Solid album track. Doesn't stand out, nor does it detract from the album. And it does what, in my opinion, album track should do. Okay, yeah, it's not necessarily a single, but it's not like, horrible. It's just kind of, it's just there. And I hate to undersell this because I think it's a great song. I just don't think it's like the standout. But it totally deserves to be on the album, and I think it kicks ass. What do you think, Ralph?
It's my favorite.
Wow.
It's my favorite song off the album. The riffage, the heaviness, Fast and Furious. I mean, this song does not have time for wimps like Mark Allen, Tough Guy Taylor. This song,
that dude will kick your ass.
Yeah, that guy doesn't like Saxon. Trust me, because Eddie Trunk told him not to listen to Saxon. Dam Busters is my favorite track off the album. Then comes Remember the Fallen, which is another ripping tack. And it's actually a song about Mark Allen Taylor's podcast, The Fallen. Love it. Another great song. Great Metallica tune.
I love Remember the Fallen too. And at first I thought it was like maybe it was a tribute to fallen soldiers or something like that. And I watched the video. This is another one they made a video for. And it's very related to like COVID and to like, the doctors and, frontline medical people during the COVID pandemic. Really good song. Classic fucking Saxon. And a really good video too. Again, COVID, and they pointed out in the video, which I thought was very smart. That shit was started when a Sammy Hagar fan shoved a bat up his ass in Wuhan, China.
Wow. I didn't know Sammy Hagar fans in China.
Yeah. Well, they all have small dicks, and I hate to pick on you Asians, but shoved a bat up his ass at a wet market, and then came back here, had a kid fuck him in the ass, and then you got COVID. They made a song about it. Kicks ass. I love Remember the Fallen. Oh, yeah. Really good track. Then I'll take the next one after that, Supernova. All right, again, I got to go to my notes here. I'm a little drunk. Just as heavy and as good as the shit mega bands that everybody loves, like Metallica, put out now. And these motherfuckers, again, I pointed out their age. They are legit senior citizens. And they're putting out a song like Supernova. I mean, seriously. If you do nothing, just Google fucking Saxon Supernova. Put it on now. Compare it to what you hear coming out from these legacy bands when they put out records. compare it to what you hear on modern rock radio, you know, your Disturbed and your Five Finger fucking Donkey Punch shit, and listen to this and tell me what's better. Seriously, tell me what more reminds you of what you love about heavy metal, you know, and what grabs you. If it's not this, I don't fucking trust you. You probably shove bats up your ass and spread COVID while you listen to Sammy Hagar. Supernova kicks ass. What do you think?
You shove bats up your ass and then you get on your phone and say you can kick my ass because you think I'm. All right, Supernova, hell yeah, man! Another fast-paced metallic tune. Love it. It's a song Mark Alden Taylor doesn't like because Eddie Trunk didn't tell him to listen to. And Mark listens to Dirty Honey and Rival Sons because that's what Eddie Trunk tells him to listen to that. Fucking poser. Love it. Another one of my favorite songs on here. And then we go into Lady in Gray, which is another melodic track, you know, to bring variety to this fucking best Saxon album since Denim and Leather. I love Lady in Gray. I think it's a great melodic little change to the album. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I love it too, and at least the lady ain't wearing red because that's one of my most hated songs in the world is Lady in Red. I fucking hate that song. But Lady in Gray, on the other hand, kicks fucking ass, and I mean you pretty much said it. It's a cool melodic track, and it does change the album up a little bit, gives it that flavor. You know, that's when this album, nothing gets repetitive and nothing sounds like, okay, this is like the last song, but yet it all sounds like fucking Saxon. And it's just, god damn, as I'm listening, I'm like, this shit is fucking solid as fuck. It's a solid ball of rock, if you will, just a different album. But then we go into the next one, which is All for One. And if I had to pick a least favorite song on the album, it would be this one, but I still love it. And that's, you know, the hallmark to me of a great album. Like even the one where you're like, okay, this is the lesser one, but it still kicks ass. You can't go wrong. You can't go. There is no fucking turd on this fucking album. Even though this would be my least favorite, it still fucking kicks ass. It's still better than anything on the new fucking Megadeth album or the new Metallica album. I love All for One.
The new Overkill.
Even though it's I like it more than you, but I mean I get what you're saying. I understand it. I'd say it's better than anything on Wings of War. I'll give you that. But no, I love All for One. I think it's a great track. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I love it, man. It's back to some neck breaking metal. Has a killer solo. It's a killer song, and Mark sucks.
All right, what do you think of the next track? Black is the Night.
Black is the Night is badass. This song gets stuck in my head, you know, because I do listen to the song quite a bit, and it's the one song that gets really stuck in my head. And when it does get stuck in my head, it's a good day because this song rules. This song is the opposite of Mark.
I love this track. Another one they made a video for. They got a video for the title track, The Pilgrimage, Remember the Fallen, and this one. And what I love about this one is it's not what's the acronym? I'm trying to remember here now. Hold on, give me a second. I've been drinking. Anyway, it's like power metal, but like not like fucking gay shit, like fucking Manowar. You know, Manowar is what you call it's P. God damn it! I had a great joke. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. But anyway, Manowar. You know, chicks run away from it. It's pussy repellent metal. PRM, pussy repellent metal. But on the other hand, you got like Pussy Magnet Metal, which you can't really call it metal, but it is like Poison. You got to find that middle ground, you know, where, it's not totally virgin shit, but it's not shit for girls either. You got to find that nice sweet spot. And that's what I like about Saxon is, hey, a lot of chicks like Saxon too because it's just good fucking metal, but it's not nerd virgin shit like fucking Dragon Force and fucking Manowar and fucking 3 Inches of Blood and all that fucking gay fucking shit. And by gay, I mean like not good. I don't mean sucking dick because that's fine. I just mean horrible fucking metal. I love this fucking track. And do I get the last one or does it go to you?
No, it goes to you.
Okay. Oh, good. Because I love this fucking track. Living on the Limit is the shortest track on this album, under 3 minutes. And to me, it's perfect placement. A short, fast number that just kicks you in the fucking ass. And I love 10 songs, doesn't overstay its welcome, and leaves on a fucking high note. And I don't see it as a throwaway song. It's a shorter song, but to me, there's nothing throwaway about it. To me, it's just as good as everything else. And I put, yeah, fucking love it. Kicks you in the ass on the way out, and leaves a cream pie dripping out your mama. Saxon's over and out, bitch.
Nice.
It's the way to do it. And for a band this long in the tooth, man, that's fucking amazing. Oh, I lost my earpod. But man, I love this fucking album, and I'm so glad you picked it, Ralph. What do you think of the last track?
Before I get into the last track, I just want to do a public service announcement that I am a huge Manowar fan, and Ian is a faggot. And what I mean by faggot is that he takes off the ass and he sucks dick. That's what I mean about faggot. He's a faggot who sucks dick and takes it up the ass. All right? Not the other type of faggot. I'm not talking about British cigarettes and little bundles of wood in Canada. No. I'm talking about glory holes fucking pumping up the ass with stranger semen faggot. All right, Living on the Limit. End this killer album with a killer ripping track. This, I'm telling you, man, the first time I heard this album, then I ended with this song, I was like, fuck, man, I needed to go back. I was like, wait a second, man. Is there no song I don't like on here? Because on first listen, I was loving every song. And my first time first time hearing it was on YouTube. And I played it again. And then actually, I wasn't even done playing it the second time, where I went on Amazon, bought it on vinyl, because I loved it so much. A perfect 10 album. This is an amazing album. It sucks how it's going to the radar because it's Saxon. It sucks that Overkill gets more press than Saxon. And Overkill's not big, or Testament. This shit's way better than both those bands combined, in my opinion. And mind you, I'm not a faggot.
Well, you do like Motorhead. I mean, not Motorhead. Manowar. Cool thing about this, even though I know it doesn't matter as much now because record sales are in the shitter, this is their highest charting album in England since The Power and the Glory.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it made it to 17 on the British charts. It made it onto 3 different charts in the U.S., which U.S. charts mean even less. But this album did pick up some traction, and it did get a lot of respect. All the reviews were really good. But, unfortunately, not as, more people need to know this. And that's why, again, I think it's so great that you picked this one over like what I really wanted to do, which was like, between the first, like I love the first one. You don't like the first one, I like the the first one.
I like the first one. I do like it.
Oh, I thought you didn't like it. But I love the first one through Crusader. I think are awesome, and I love a lot of the older shit too. It's those middle three I talked about earlier. I'm like, but but no, I think that's great because if this brings attention to this does deserve to sell more than it did. Deserves to get more attention. And please, if this band comes by you, do not sleep on this shit. I mean, when I saw them, I think I saw them in 2018, maybe. I mean, they were fucking incredible, and I'm so pissed that I didn't stay and hang out with them. But my girlfriend at the time and the guy I went with, they wanted to go home, and they were hanging out by their bus, being cool to everybody. I'm like, fuck. I should just, hey, you guys go fucking home. I'm going to stay here with Saxon. I wish I would have because they were amazing. They played all the hits, but they also played deep cuts. I mean, they were just an amazing live band. And like I said, I saw them at a small club, but they gave it all the energy and all the attitude of a headline. I mean, they were the headline band, but you know what I mean? Like they were headlining at a big festival. Just incredible, man. And this band deserves your respect and deserves your money. So go out and buy this shit.
Yeah,
Great fucking album.
I flew to New York once to see Saxon play BB King's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and Saxon was awesome. After they played, I was outside. This is when I used to smoke cigarettes. I was outside having a cigarette with some people that I knew from New York that were at the show that I'd known from online. And who comes walking out? Biff. And I was like, oh, there's Biff. So we ran after him, and I got to get a picture, and I told him, I saw you play Miami, man, in 1981 Triumph. And he's like, I remember that show because I never been to Miami before. I remember.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was very cool meeting him. It was awesome.
Nice. And I mean, they're just an amazing band with a tight fucking catalog. Please check this album out and check out pretty much, all their shit. I mean, they got maybe three the rest is all solid fucking shit if you love metal. So great pick, Ralph, and very happy to return with this one, man. Carpe Diem. Check this shit out, bitches.
Except if you're Mark, because Eddie Trunk doesn't talk about it.
All right. Well,
he's another faggot like you, Ian. He is no bundle of wood. He is not a British cigarette. He's a straight up dick sucking and sitting on big black cocks faggot.
Hey, I didn't say that shit, Mark. Kick his ass, not mine.
He told me to say it.
Yeah, I did. All right, well, now it's time to go and pick of the week. Ralph, do you have a pick of the week?
I actually do, but I want you to go into your pick of the week as I grab my pick of the week.
Okay. All right. My pick of the week is an incredible live album. And I think when Ralph and I did an episode years ago, did our top 10 live albums. I think I left this one off, and I shouldn't have. I could think of a couple I would knock off for this one, but it is let me double check the year here. Make sure I give you the right info there. I want to say 81. Nope, 82. Okay. See, good thing I checked. The 1982 live album from Saxon, The Eagle Has Landed. Holy shit, is this one good. The original one was only 10 tracks. If you buy it now, it's like a remastered edition added, probably I think like 6 more tracks. Just incredible. Record on the Denim and Leather tour. Holy shit, the live version of Princess of the Night on this one. I mean, just all the tracks. It's one of those where you look at it like, fuck, they should have put this track on there. They should have put that. But everything that's on there is so fucking solid and so fucking good. And they have Eagles Landed 1, 2, 3. They did like a 40th, Eagles Landed 40th show. I really recommend that one. That one's like a fucking triple fucking live album. I mean, it's a newer recording, but amazing. This band is so good live, so tight. Um, but check that out, man. I mean, you can't go wrong. The first album, Strong Arm of the Law, Denim and Leather, um, Wheels of Steel, fucking Power and the Glory, Crusade. I mean, holy shit. I mean, they're all fucking phenomenal, fucking traditional British heavy metal albums. Um, check it out. And man, all the new ones too. Seriously, from Solid Ball of Rock on, in my opinion, you really can't go wrong. And if you buy one of those and you don't like it, I will refund your money. You got to send me the copy. You can't just be like, we'll get money. Trust me, if you buy one of those and you don't like it, I will buy it from you. That's how much faith I have in Saxon. So there you go.
What album were you talking about? Eagle Has Landed?
Yes.
That is an amazing live album.
Yes, and I just gave a money back guarantee on Saxon. I said if you buy the first album through Crusader or Solid Ball of Rock on and you don't like it, I will refund your money if you send me the copy.
As much as I love, and one of my favorite Saxon songs ever is Fire in the Sky, the Eagle Has Landed version of that song.
Oh,
smoke.
So good. So good.
I got something really cool. Awesome. Thanks to my co-host on the Almost Human Live, Tony Dio.
Oh yeah.
We did a Thin Lizzy episode with Martin Popoff, and Tony brought this up. Let's see if I can get it. This is the Phil Lynott documentary.
Oh, nice.
Which is a great documentary. Plus, them live outdoors. Where was this at? At the Sydney Opera House, which was an outdoor show you can see there in Australia.
What tour?
Black Rose.
Okay.
With Gary Moore. It's
nice.
And the thing is, that show's been out forever, but this version has songs that were cut out of the original thing, and then it brings it on CD as well.
Nice.
Like this. So it's a 3-disc set. You can get it on Amazon.
Is that an import or is
that no?
Okay.
No, I ordered it on Amazon. I got it the next day.
Nice.
I got that Amazon Prime thing.
Yeah.
And that's my pick of the week. Fucking love it. And I also want to give a little plug to the greatest pop song ever written by Mr. Phil Lynott called Old Town. Greatest pop song I ever heard in my life. Off his song. Yeah. There you go. That's my pick of the week.
Oh shit. You know what? And I hope people are still sticking around and listening to this, because I can't believe we forgot this in the news. But there's something very important we forgot to mention. The new Beatles song.
Oh my God, I love it.
You got it?
The album cover sucks, right?
Yeah.
But the back of it is cool. That should have been the album cover right there. And I love the song. I think, you see, AI scares me. But what they did on the AI and this shit, they didn't artificially, they just cleaned the vocals and took the piano out and cleaned John's vocals. It's not really the AI everybody's using now. I absolutely loved it. You didn't like it?
I hated it.
Man, I love it.
I hated it because it made me cry like a bitch. It was so fucking good. It was so fucking good. And I was watching all these like reaction videos to it and stuff. And it was hard. Like, I had to, as much as I love the song and wanted to hear it over and over again, I had to stop watching the videos because it was seriously making me depressed and crying. Because everybody you watch, whether men, women, black, white, the emotion that people were getting from that song, it was it was some, as much as I love Free as a Bird, I was kind of on Real Love. Um, to me, this is by far the best song, of them using this technology. I, much like yourself, was scared when it said AI. I was thinking like, oh, are they reproducing his voice kind of thing? And no, it wasn't that. Um, it was just incredible, but to me, it was so sad because that is the last. We're never gonna get another one that has all four of them, and it was just such a good fucking song. And that video that Peter Jackson did was incredible. It was funny, it was heartbreaking, but
Yeah, well,
man,
when I first heard the song, I didn't cry. When I saw the video,
yeah,
I cried. That the video made me cry. And John
yeah,
was acting goofy and stuff.
oh yeah,
Seeing the four in that room really it choked me up. I cried.
oh
And yeah, the song is very melancholy,
yeah,
beautiful.
oh yeah,
And Paul's vocals blended with John, it's gorgeous. And as much as I don't like George Harrison, I love what George Harrison does on that song.
yeah. And
I
he
like
hated
yeah,
he hated the song. Yeah.
I like the little slide guitar thing he did. I thought it was
Oh man, I tell you what, when that video started, from the first shot where they show like the side of John's face with the glasses and the
yeah,
sun and everything. I mean, I'm just like, but just seeing like the overwhelming reaction to this song, and like I said, men, women, people, not only different colors but from different countries, just having the same reaction when we live in an era where pop music now is so interchangeable and plastic, and it's really just like wallpaper. To hear something like this, and then to know that this is this was put on a tape, where he wanted to do something with Paul at this time. He missed playing with Paul and wanted to write a song with him again. And then to see this happen, and it pretty much came through Peter Jackson, because when he was doing the Get Back documentary, Paul talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, we got this song, but the technology, we really can't." He goes, "No, I know some shit we can use to make this work." And then they use, George Martin's son Giles, doing the orchestration on it and everything. It's just, it even thinking about it fills me with emotion. And it's so incredible. Something we'll never see again. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever feel again. You know what I mean? Music that will touch you like that. And it's just it makes me sad and happy at the same time, but mostly sad, but not necessarily in a negative way. But it's heartbreaking to listen to, I think.
yeah, but it's a great way to end it. Like I said a million times. Black Sabbath, 70s, Merciful Fate, 80s, pretty much tied for my favorite band of all time. But the Beatles are the greatest band of all time.
Yep.
I have
And
my favorite bands, but the Beatles are the greatest band.
yep. And I agree.
That's all to it. I mean, no band. I mean, even if you hate the Beatles, of course, you're an idiot if you do not recognize how
Right.
they changed the world. No band has changed the world except for the Beatles. They changed everything. They changed the game. They invented the album format. They made everybody
Yep.
grow their hair. They were
Yep.
they were the greatest. And on
Yep.
top of that, you have Lennon and McCartney, the greatest songwriter duo of all time.
Yep.
I mean, what they did is mind blowing. It's just mind blowing in that short period of time. Now bands take about that long to make an album.
Yeah.
They were around for 7 years and they
Yeah.
changed the world. I mean, the whole planet went nuts over them. You can't say that about any other band. This band is the greatest band, and I don't think they will ever. And you know, I just recently saw a quote from Epstein, the original, the manager.
Yeah. He's dead.
Yeah, Gary Epstein. Yeah, but there's a quote.
Brian Epstein.
Brian Epstein, when he was alive, he did an interview when he said, 100 years from today, people will still be listening to the Beatles, and people will still be loving the Beatles. Well, we're already past halfway mark, and look how everybody's still remembering the Beatles 50 years later. Well, 50 plus years later. And I think it's going on 60 years, right? Yeah, man. The great, they've never been touched ever. You know, I saw this meme. It said, Bing Crosby was threatened by Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra was threatened by the Beatles. I mean, Frank Sinatra was threatened by Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley was threatened by the Beatles. The Beatles were threatened by nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody threatened them. You know what I mean? They were the best, man.
Yeah, it was it was a hard listen, but a good listen. I mean, I love it. I love it. But I mean, I guess it's amazing that a song, you know, at our age can touch us like that, though. You know, because it's so rare.
Well,
like even you know new stuff we listen to.
A new song to affect me is rare.
Yeah, you know, it's like I don't know. It's incredible. It's incredible, and I'm so thankful we have it. But it's a tough one. But I'm glad though, man. When I watch these videos of all these, like I said, different people of different sexes, different ages, different countries and everything, having the same heartfelt emotions listening to this. I mean, that is the power of the Beatles, and yeah, nobody else has that. You know, even though I hate Elvis, I respect Elvis. You know what I mean? To an extent, I respect the impact and the influence of Elvis, even though I don't like him. But even he didn't touch the Beatles.
No.
And he's the king of rock and roll,
I think the main reason is because he didn't write his songs,
Yeah, I'm just not a fan overall. But again,
you know how much I love Elvis. Mm-hmm. You know what we'll put right up there with Elvis is Buddy Holly. I'm a big Buddy Holly fan too.
Yeah,
and he wrote his songs.
Yeah,
I did like Elvis a little more because of Elvis's voice, but Buddy Holly was awesome. Very big influence on the Beatles as well.
Yeah, but I mean, the Beatles is just next level shit, man.
The Beatles took what Buddy Holly, Elvis, and Little Richard did, and Chuck Berry, and awesome. Made it fucking awesome.
Yeah. So
it's awesome. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love it.
Love Me Do as the B-side.
Yeah, and I love the mix of it. I think they did a great job.
Chuck Charles has been bothering me to listen to that Blue and Red album, and I had no desire to. He's like, why? I got to me, the mono mixes are the best sounding Beatles albums. Well, I listen to it, not all of it, but I listen to some of it, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I still wouldn't go out and buy it. I still think I have the definitive versions, but the mixes they did on these Red and Blue albums, are pretty good.
I like them. I downloaded both of them. I mean, full disclosure, but I thought they sounded great. I mean, to me, they didn't change it enough to where it's unrecognizable or it seemed blasphemous. I just think it's a very clear, very, very good production and mixes. So I'm okay with it. All right. Well, now it's time to go into fan of the week. And I'm kind of like, oh my God, it's this is an episode we picked. We've named so many of our fans in past episodes.
Can I pick a
And
fan?
well, you can add a fan. How about
Yeah,
that?
I'll
Because
add a fan.
I
After
got
you,
some.
I'll add a fan.
Okay. Um, my fan of the week is a lot of men, a lot of women who listen around the world. I can go on Podbean and I can see, um, all the different countries that were downloaded in, and like almost every country in the world. It's very humble. That I mean, we seriously have listeners all over the world, um, and I know that because of language barriers and shit like that, a lot of these are military that are listening to us. And I just wanted to give a shout out, with all the crazy shit that's going on right now, and who knows where that's going to lead. Um, but there's military people all over the world that listen to us, and wherever they're at, and if it brings them some joy and helps them forget where the fuck they're at right now or what they have to do, I want to give a big shout out to all the U.S. military all over the world that listens to our show and make them our fan of the week. Thank you for your service, and thank you for all you do for this country.
Right on. I mirror that. But I'm going to add a fan of the week.
Okay.
Somebody that we have added already, but we're going to add him again. He's from Australia.
Oh, I love our Australian fans.
But there's no better Australian than Mr. Adam Marshall.
Oh,
Adam Marshall.
That kangaroo fucker. I love that guy.
Hell yeah. My favorite Australian in the whole world. Adam Marshall is my pick of the week. And salute to all the men and women in the military for keeping us safe, for keeping our freedom intact. If it was up to certain people in our government, we'd be like Cuba today. But no, our military won't stand for that shit. And communism ain't coming here. I know they all wanted to come here. They're idiots. They don't look. Before communism in Cuba, that shit was great. They had casinos. They had all shit. After communism in Cuba, people died drowning trying to come to Florida. All right? That shows you how good. And there's no transportation. No, there's no nothing in Cuba. There's no caps. Zero caps in Cuba because they ate them all because they are starving over there. All right?
Yeah.
Fuck communism. And fuck Tom Morello. Thank you.
Yeah, fuck him. But yeah, Adam Marshall, love Adam Marshall.
Hell yeah.
And again, big shout out to our U.S. military, and a big shout out to the Israeli military who killed a former member of our show the other week while he was in a little rat hole hiding under a hospital in the Gaza Strip. He had it coming. And watch out, Roger Waters, they're coming for you next. I love Roger Waters, but you're on the wrong side of history, brother. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this show, and please check out this Saxon album. We are recording this on Saturday. It's going to be up on Sunday morning. I'm going to try to, if Ralph gets this to me, I'll get it up before the Raider game in the morning. And tune in late tomorrow night, depending on what time zone you're in. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow night.
It'll either be at 8 p.m. Eastern time or 10 p.m. Eastern time. One of the two.
Yeah. So pay attention to Facebook. Ralph, whenever you decide what time you can do it, let people know on the Facebook page. And we'll do a live stream. We'll just do a fucking a free-form show, if you will. Yeah. Ask us questions, do whatever, And then the next day, we're going to record another episode covering the first Black Sabbath album. Can you believe we haven't done that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we only have 2 Black Sabbath albums from the 70s left. And tomorrow we're doing Monday, we're doing the first one. So
And we'll do Paranoid soon after that.
yeah, and I want to thank everybody. Sorry if I didn't get to you on Facebook, but like I said earlier in the show, with stuff going on in personal life and the new job, shit's been different. But I'm gonna work everything in their schedule. And also, I forgot to mention this. Chris Sinzak is going to be working with me on straightening out the whole Patreon thing, so we can get that worked out. I talked, and big shout out to Chris Sinzak. Thank you for that. We're going to work that out so we can do that shit for the extra stuff. So everything's going to fall back in line, but thank you for your patience. And it's just going to get bigger and better from here.
And Chris Sinzak is no faggot. No, he's not. I mean, okay, we can say he's a little bit of a British cigarette, but he's no cocksucker.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to Sammy Hagar, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. So if you like this, come back tomorrow.
Wait. Okay. One more thing. And I'm going to have to bring this up on tomorrow's episode at the beginning for anybody that was listening to this and not watching this part. I get bombarded a lot of times, Ian. When's the next rock and metal combat? When's the record? Not look, everybody out there, and I'll say this tomorrow on tomorrow's episode. I hope I remember. Hit up Ian. Ian's the reason we're not doing shows. I don't know what's up with Ian. Ian's doing his own thing. So ask him because he knows when. I don't.
And if I can get to you, I will. And there's a lot of people I need to catch up with on Facebook Messenger, and I apologize, but I've been the reason for the holdup, but it's nothing to do with drama or bullshit. Ralph and I are doing great, and I don't even care that he likes Man of War and men's penises in his mouth.
I do care that he likes Gritty Politti, but I'll get over it.
Great band, great songs. But come back tomorrow for the live show. You want to know what's going on? Get in the fucking chat room and talk to us live. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll catch it on the replay. Fuck that shit. Be in there live if you want us to talk to you. It's going to be a fun show tomorrow night. I can tell. And I don't have to work Monday, so I'm going to get loaded, and you're going to get the truth.
I'll let you know ahead of time, Ian, if I can. I could possibly do 8 p.m. Possibly.
Right. If not, that's another thing for people who don't realize, like 8 p.m. to him is 5 p.m. to me. So, we always got to work out our time zones and shit, whatever. But seriously, what the fuck do you got to do tomorrow? Drop that shit, hang out with us, ask us questions, have fun, and more importantly, come back next week or a couple of days later to the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Smack 'em a gob.
Cocksucker.
Faggot.